Hello and welcome to GlacierTV tonight for the Neo Endurance Green Hell. We're at Virginia International Raceway, just over 4 miles in length, 26 turns, and we have 4 classes here. We have the McLarens, the Cadillac, the Mustang, and the MX-5. So should be a thrilling race. With me this afternoon we have Rob Cuss. Rob, what are your thoughts on this race? 2 hours and 45 minutes, 4 classes. Should be a barnstormer.
It's going to be fantastic. I mean, the MX-5s are going to get lapped every 5 to 6 laps, so traffic's going to be an issue straight away. You know, the McLarens are about 6-7 seconds quicker than the Cadillacs and then the Mustangs, and if you make one mistake on this track, you're onto the grass, and you could wreck people out on the other side of the track. Basically, it's mad. It's the hardest layout I've driven. I had to go at practice, and it's hard.
Not many overtaking opportunities really either. It's been such a long track. Most of it is quite twisty. You got the where do you think the main overtaking places will be on this track?
Into the horseshoe for sure. It's a big braking zone. You can make passes at NASCAR Bend and the left hook, which are turns 3 and 4. But then you kind of have to sit and wait all the way up to Oak Tree for the next passing opportunity. And then maybe down into the tight hairpin. I can't actually say this on the stream because it's a girl dog is the name of the corner. And then just before you get into the spiral, there's some good opportunities there. So you can overtake, but you are right. There's a few areas where you just got to stay in line.
Got 2 hours and 45 minutes of racing ahead of us. And the grid, we got the grid for the race. On pole position we have Laurent Vettel, this is the McLarens, Stefan Mugliar in second. Third place on the second row of Emil Spindal of Emil Boss fourth. In fifth place is Julian Aligo. Sixth is Kevin Viekemans. Seventh Jacob Nielsen. Eighth is Fabio Gonzalez. Ninth is Joel Huez. In 10th place is Fabian de Jong. 11th is Casper Volker Jr. 12th Aaron DeLong. And 13th is Grant Hegedorn. And now Rob Cuss will bring you the Cadillac field.
So on the front row of the caddies, we've got Anders Dahl, accompanied by Frederick Follestad, Jan Paul Niehaus, John Hall, Richard Schouteren, I think, Paul Ilbrink, Rasmus Larsen, De Lejon Balderin, and Paul Van Mierlo are the caddy lineup.
In the Mustangs, it's Roop Tequila on pole position with Oscar Silent alongside him. Second row is Patrick Bieri and Dan Rash, the winner of the Raw before the 2.4. On the next row is Kevin Parrish and Antti Tuominen. Then it's Antti Fajala and Russell Kleisen. Randolph Chenoweth, Florian Entz and Jester Edgeback round out your field of Mustangs.
And in the MX-5 on pole we have Jesper Pedersen. Then accompanying him on the front row we have Tomasado Carla, Mike Chinason, Amir Yarmin, and then Anthony Rosselli, Stefan Overgaard, Jarrett JB Masida, unusually low down for him in a different car, Nick Thiessen, Andrew Pinkerton, the stocking filler and team manager for the Radicals, Andy Kay, Michael Mellis, Yuri Whithook, and James Wallace rounds out your MX-5 field.
So 48 cars to negotiate this 4.07 mile course. So just going around on their main up lap now, formation lap, and then once that pace car, once we get to the end of the lap and the pace car goes, 48 beasts will be unleashed, and it should be a fantastic race. But strategy is going to be very important as well. We don't really want to see drivers making too many rash moves on the opening laps. Although it's important to get position, it's probably more important to stay in the race with it being this long.
Definitely, he who finishes and kicks his wheels on the tarmac. This race is going to be nuts. One mistake could put you over, could just ruin it. And these guys have been practicing every day for like the last 6-7 days, religiously, 3 to 4 hours, and all that work, and it could be undone in one error, basically.
Who do you think are going to win each of the classes? Who do you think is going to be winning the McLaren race today?
Oh, it's hard not to look at the INX drivers of, Laurent Vettel. It's going to be a good favourite. Spindell's there as well, he's quick in his car. I'm going to go with Super Frederick Follestad of the Radicals for the caddy win. No, and you know, Daniel Lopez in the Mustang. I think it's going to be tough. And then the MX-5 field, it could be anyone from about 8 drivers. Yes, with Pedersen mightily quick, but we'll see how his race pace is. JB Masida, we know he's quick. Nick Hewson's quick. It's tough to call, but I think Jesper looks the favourite in the MX-5.
We've seen quite a few of these drivers on GlacierTV before. Some of them were even racing with us last night in Polar GT, so they got a lot of experience with the cars. And also, I think I've got to agree with you, the battle with the Cadillacs is going to be good. We've seen Frederick Forrestad on GlacierTV before in the Talk Freak Racing Touring Car Championship in which he won, so Frederick Forrestad should be near the front in that race. Down to the second part of the course now. We've gone round Bitch Corner, we're on to 15 and 16, so not too much longer to go.
And you can't use that word, lady dog, for this race. Lady dog corner, we call it. There could be 12-year-olds watching this stream.
It's the corner name. Will Vincent would do exactly the same. So they're back behind the pace car, Laurent Batel and Stefan Mujai. And if anyone of you are wondering where Will Vincent is, he's having a well-deserved afternoon off. So it's the corner. Will Vincent, unfortunately, tonight. Well, he might pop up later. You know he can't keep away from the place.
Yeah, he's probably got a vodka in hand, enjoying the sun right now. And you know, we're all right. We'll do without him. We can go, and they're going side by side. We can do all that stuff. We can do silly voices like Will does. So it'll be good.
Can't quite go as high pitched as Liam Jenkins though.
I think I managed that in the last broadcast, so I'll give it a go later.
But the car's now just about ready to start the race, coming down through the last couple of corners, roller coaster, and now after hot bend, the pace car will make that turn to the right hand side, a sharp right turn, and Laurent Batel will gets a good jump there, and our 2 hours and 45 minutes of racing is underway. Laurent Batel has got a bit of a launch there, but the battle for second place, Emil Spindel and Stefan Muschler, and I think it's going to be Spindel who takes second place into that first corner. It's going to happen further back in the field. All the McLarens seem to have got through okay, and now we're looking for the Cadillacs, and it seems to be
Anders
at the moment.
Dahl leading the caddies.
Anders Dahl in the Cadillacs.
Yeah, they're catching those McLarens up quickly as well. Frederick Forrestad just in behind. Looks like most of the caddies got through as well. There doesn't seem to be any carnage yet that I can see. I'll go back to the Mustang.
At the moment, I think everyone seems to have got through okay, but it's Laurent Batel and Emil Spindel, the top two, and already at this early stage of the race, they've started to pull a slight gap over the car in third place, which is Stefan Mujla and Spindel right on the back here of Batel as they come round up to the S's section, up towards Oaktree for the first time.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the MX-5s, and Jesper Pedersen's are way in the left.
I think I saw some cars going off in the background there as we went up to, as they came out of the oak tree. But it doesn't look like. Let's go back and see what's happened there. But Laurent Batel is the leader, Emil Spindel second, Stefan Mujla in third place, and fourth place is Edmund Boss. And one driver who has lost a few positions is Julian Aligo from the start. He seems to have dropped down a couple of positions, and Julian Aligo was a driver who was mentioned. I was watching another stream yesterday, and one of the drivers on there said that Julian Aligo would be one to watch in this race, but he seems to have dropped down a bit from the start of the race. But looks like on the whole there has not been too much carnage on this first lap.
Yeah, it looks pretty good so far. I mean, I'm watching the MX-5s to be honest at the moment, and you know, they're all doing super well. You know, driving clean lines, and there's a few little moves going on. Anthony Rosselli started from the pits and is trying to make his way up, so that'd be one to watch in that field. Look like in the Mustangs, you've got just a train of cars at the moment with Rupert Tucker leading that train. As they dive through the S's, I think, or one of the many roller coaster sections in this track. It's pretty crazy. It's a bit like the American version of the Nordschleife, but with about 120 less corners. But yeah, everyone seems to. Yeah, I think everyone's just trying to settle into a rhythm and get comfortable, because it's a long way to go. 2 hours and 45 minutes is a long race. So get settled in, see where people are, and just cruise around, save a bit of fuel, and maybe attack on the middle stint.
Yeah, so the Mustangs are just crossing the line now as the leaders go under the VW bridge, and that's just as they come up towards the S's. So already we can see that the difference in speed between the cars. We've only been racing for just over a lap, and already they're up to 7, 8 and 9, the leaders, while some of them have gone up towards the section. But in the Mazdas, I'm looking at the Mazdas now. Jesper Pedersen in the lead is already 53 seconds behind the leader. So I think in a couple of laps time, even though it's such a long track, we're starting to get into lapping already.
Yeah, as I said, it wouldn't be long before the McLarens catch the MX-5s, and they're not far away from traffic. so it's going to be entertaining very shortly as the leaders approach the traffic.
You mentioned Anthony Rosselli earlier, but Anthony Rosselli is only just now leaving the pits, so a bit of trouble there maybe for the Radicals driver.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Just went back to that, and he just pulls it off into the pit lane. I don't know if he's having some issues with the system or anything like that, but pulls it into the pit lane. Maybe he's just topping up and filling his tank up and doing an early pit stop rather than a late one.
Looking at a battle for 5th place in the McLarens. That's very interesting indeed, Rob. Kevin Viekemans and Jacob Nielsen in battle for P5 and P6. I mean, already the cars in front of them as just now they're coming around to complete their second lap, and there's already starting to be the top 4 pulling out a bit of a gap between the rest of the field. So it's the 4: Battelle, Spindle, Mougiard and Boss in the McLarens. Just having a quick look now, see what's happening in the Cadillacs. There's Anders Dahl in the lead. Frederick Follestad, who was Rob Cutter's tip for the victory, in second place. And to be fair, these Cadillacs, they aren't too far off the rear of the McLaren field, with Casper Volker Jr., a Polo GT regular, the first of those McLarens in Anders Dahl's windscreen.
Exactly. I mean, the top drivers from each class more than capable of catching the slower drivers in the other classes. So, we're going to have a mixed up field. I mean, McLaren's going to have the pace on the Caddy in a straight line, but these Caddy drivers to drive that car this quickly the boys are on point. They've got their car set up well. I know Fred was working hard on his setup, and you've got to make the car easy to drive for this race, because it's so long. You need the easiest car in the world to drive. You don't want a twitchy car. But Paul Hilbrink's driving quite well. He's in 5th place in the Caddies at the moment, and it's quite a small Caddy field, which is a bit of a shame. It's a fun car to drive. But I'll head down and see what's going on in the Mustangs. If you check the MX-5.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the MX-5s now, and it's Jesper Pedersen, who said before, is leading with Tommaso Carla in second. Mike Denison is in third, with Amjad Yaman in fourth, Stefan Evergaard in fifth, and then we've got a bit of a battle then between Jared Dawson and Nick Teason with JB Masida for company. And we've got Andrew Pinkerton, Andy Kirchhoff as well, running in the top 10, so quite happy with that. But I expect you want to go Kirchhoffer. We want to get a bit further on, but but as we said, there's already Laurent Battelle, I think, is going to be very soon coming up to lap that MX-5 of Anthony Rosselli, which left the pits. I was just about saw out the corner of my eye that they'll be coming to Rosselli pretty soon. So we're on lap number 3, and the first of the cars to be lapped is going to be Anthony Rosselli, but he's already had some problems in the pit lane.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with this car, but going to have a look at the Mustangs. It's Rupi Turkala basically leading this field, but they're all really close. There's not a massive gap through this field, which is nice to see. I'm sure it's spread out over time. So, but Daniel Lopez, my pick for the race win, is currently just chilling, sitting in 3rd place. Kevin Parrish, one of the other drivers from Polo GT, he's back in 6th. We have Randall Chenoweth driving quite nicely, just cruising through. So the rundown from the Mustangs is Rupi Tegela, Oscar Salin, Daniel Lopez, Patrick Berry, Dan Orash, Kevin Parrish, Antti Timonen, and I can't even pronounce that, Antti Perhala, sorry if I got that wrong, Russell Clayson, and then Randall Chenoweth is pretty much your top 10 in the Mustangs.
In the McLarens, we saw Jacob Nielsen try and make a move on Kevin Vieknens going into the horseshoe corner, but as Anthony Rosselli split that up a little bit because Vieknens got, but Nielsen had to hold back, and as a result, instead of defending, Nielsen is now defending from the number 4 of Fabio Gonzalez as they now go up towards Oak Tree. This is lap number 4. It's Kevin Vieknens in 5th, Jacob Nielsen in 6th place, but just behind him is Fabio Gonzalez. So this shows that we already had signs of what traffic can do to the field. It takes, you've got to have a little bit of luck in traffic because it can harm. You can either harm your race or make your race depending on where you catch this traffic.
Yeah, I made a bit of a boob with the Mustang order. Oscar Salin made a mistake and actually dropped back. It's Daniel Lopez who's currently running P2 of the Mustangs. So my apologies to the viewers there for that little error of information. But yeah, my pick is currently P2. But Rupert Turkler is currently 4 seconds ahead, so he's flying.
And as we said before, in the McLarens, it does seem like that from going down to 4, it's gone down to 3 because Patel, Spindal, Musha seems to be the pick of the field at the moment. Edmund Boss, though, however, he's still in touching distance, but then there's a bigger gap back to the battle we were talking about before with Vieknens, Nielsen and Gonzalez. 8th place is Joel Huez, 9th Fabian DeLong, and we talked about Julian Aligo earlier. Julian Aligo is down in 10th position, but Aaron DeLong in 11th, Casper Volker Jr. up to 12th position. With, in fact, Casper Volker Jr. seems to have disappeared from the race, unfortunately.
Yep, strange. I mean, it's a long race. People are going to get connection problems. It's one of the drawbacks of this form of motorsport. You rely on your connection as the caddies are just lapping. The MX-5s is one of the caddies. He's currently trying to make his way around. It looks like the car of Anthony Rosselli.
He must spin down on the grass. I'm sorry to interrupt you. He stood round and they're trying to avoid him. So far, everyone's avoided him. But Emma Spindell, who is running in 2nd place, and now he's hit the wall. And I think Emma Spindell's race is over. So one of the favourites, that McLaren, has gone off the track. It'd be interesting to have a look at the replay and see what happened. But Rob, that is a cruel blow for Emma Spindell.
That's the curse of the green hell. Basically, he spun all on his own. I'm just looking at my.
He tried to get around the outside of Laurent Batil, and there may have been slight contact with Stefan Mujlar in the horseshoe. Over that, but we got a little bit loose. He came back on the track then. Spindell made light contact with the wall, but then further on in the lap, the car spun round again. And then Emma Spindell's day went from bad to worse, and I think that's probably the end of his race. He was lucky not to be taken out. There's 3 cars who had to take very evasive action to avoid that number 29 car. But Emma Spindell, who we said before, one of the favourites, is now seemingly out of the race.
Oh dear. And yeah, cruel blow for Emil there. He's one of the quicker drivers in that class, and it's his all that effort for 5 laps in the race is a tough break. But I'm just looking at the caddy battle, and Anders Dahl is being chased quite heavily by Frederick Follestan, and his car looks a little loose compared with Fred's as well. So just checking that battle out. Currently Jan Palneas is running P3, but he's a little way off this battle. He's about 3 seconds back from Anders and Fred as they're heading onto, looks like, one of the roller coaster sections.
And the McLarens are now just starting to come across the Mazda traffic. Our race leader has got a bit of an advantage now, Laurent Batil. The incident by Spindell has spread out the field a bit. The last car that he went past was the car of Mike Tenusen, so that's the car that's running currently 3rd in the Mazda class. So it looks like that the the lead McLaren is just about got through the field. That's Tommaso Carla, and now the leader Jesper Pedersen has been overtaken. So that's our race leader through. How are the other two, Stefan Mugler and Edwin Boss, going to fare going through the traffic? Mugler almost at a coasting stop. Yeah, they're really losing time here.
Yeah, but you've got to be patient in traffic. You can't just boom up to the back of a slower car and expect him to jump out the way for you. That's not how it works. The slower cars are told in race briefing to maintain their line, and the faster cars have got to go round. That's the basic rules of multi-class racing. Fair enough, if you see one coming and you know it's quicker and you want to move, then make one positive move to get out the way, but don't change your mind. So the McLaren's got to be patient. That's the whole thing with multi-class racing. If you're not patient, you're going to wreck yourself and someone else. So patience is a virtue.
Yeah, Mugler and Boss lost out a lot there because Laurent Batel managed to get past the slower MX-5s before they got to the twistier sections, and this has allowed Kevin Viekemans back into play as well. So Kevin Viekemans, who was at one stage dropped back, is now right back on the tail of the two cars in front of him for the podium positions. But Laurent Batel just starting now to get a little bit of an advantage, and in fact now Batel's across on Mustang field, so it's just gone past one lot of cars. Now he has a second lot to negotiate. So as we said before, patience, especially for our race leader. He's got a bit of a gap, but now it's going to truncate out. It's going to get a bit more closer.
Ooh, you got the caddies overtaking the MX-5s, and this is just as much fun because the caddies are so fast compared with the MX-5s, and they're catching them in the roller coaster section. So this is just as entertaining as watching the McLarens try and weave their way through traffic. Because it seems like Anders Dahl and Frederick Follestad have negotiated most of the traffic so far, but they're not too far behind the McLarens.
Yeah, currently it seems that we have a couple of retirements. Casper Volker Jr., Emma Spindel is out the race, and also Fabian de Jong. So it's not been really too much of attrition. We've lost 3 cars, I think, so far, but considering how many were on the grid and the nature of this track, not as bad as a start as it could have been, Rob.
Yeah, it's still a long race. I mean, there's always going to be incidents around the field, so it's not too bad for such a tough track to have many dropouts so far. I mean, yeah, we're not that long into the race, but it's still a long race. There's still opportunities for carnage, and I'm sure there will be at some point when people start getting tired and not concentrating.
Our race leaders just passed the of Oscar Salin and Randolph Chenoweth, but also, as we said before about the gaps spreading out and coming closer, Stefan Mugler, despite Patel being stuck at them coming through the S's and South Bend, is caught up right between the number 50 car there, moves over. That's a very wise decision there from Randolph Chenoweth, but he's right on the tail now of Patel. The lead that Patel had was 0.1 seconds at the start of the lap, but Stefan Mugler has brought it down now to probably a car length as they come down Madison Avenue down towards turn 13 at the end of the back straight. It just shows that amount of time can be lost in a split second, really.
Yeah, it's, again, multi-class racing, easy to lose time. This track, super easy to lose time. I mean, if you look at the qualifying times, there was seconds between some drivers. So, you know, you've got, it's a tough track, 4 classes, long race, massive speed differences. It's going to be crazy.
And we've got a black flag from race control for the number 31 of Aaron DeLong. So Aaron DeLong has a black flag. Don't know what that's for, but that's just a message coming to us from race control that the McLaren number 31 of Aaron DeLong has a black flag.
Entertaining. We're trying to find out where we are with that. Should be looking at the caddies now as they're negotiating around. We should have Jan Paul Niehaus on screen as he's trying to close down Frederick Follestad. He obviously got caught up in some of the traffic trying to negotiate his way around. So he gets it a little loose through the roller coaster, and he's trying to hunt Fred down for P2 in the caddy field. So
In the
these
meantime,
cars.
Anders Dahl was nearly caught right up to the Gertz Hagdorn and the last of our McLaren drivers. Anders Dahl just going past one of our Mustangs now, but Anders Dahl certainly knows how to pedal one of these things. He's got about a 3-second lead over the battle for second, which we're talking about between Fredrik Follestad and John Paul Niehel. Then it's a bit of a gap back, 8 seconds to Paul Ilbrink. Then we have John Hall, who's in a battle at the moment with Rasmus Larsson. There's Mazda MX-5 there, getting in the position which John Hall really didn't want to do, and if Larsson can get a bit of a momentum coming out of the final corner, we could see that position change to go into turn 1, and indeed looks like Larsson has definitely got the momentum. So as they come into Horseshoe Corner, we could see a change of position there for what will be 5th place in class between the number 30 and number 80. Down the inside goes Larsson, but the car of Hall's going to try and fight it, but to no avail, and it's Rasmus Larsson making up a position there. Just shows that with something like that, the John Hall was only held up for a little bit, but it just allowed Larsson to get that little bit of extra momentum, and it's cost John Hall a position.
Yep, but there's plenty of time for him to get it back, and he's quite an accomplished driver in the Cadillac, so I'm sure he'll just knuckle down, get back into a rhythm, and try and just stay with him and wait for an opportunity to get his spot back. Just a little bit further down.
I've just seen on my screen a McLaren going. Russell Clayton is off, and there's also a McLaren that went off the track. I believe it is the car of Gert Hagdorn. We spoke about him earlier. He's running last of our remaining runners in the McLaren class, and he was just coming the grass there just before. It was just after South Bend, so turn 11, just coming onto Oak Tree. I didn't fully see what happened there, and we got a warning as well from race control for the number 8 of Dojan Bolden, and there's action all over the place. I've just seen a Mustang go off as well just after the
Then Daniel Lopez is out. He is greyed out, and something's happened to Daniel, so I'm going to whiz back and have a little look and see what happened there.
Yeah, it's just come up now, say that he has a car problem, so
broken
car, so maybe Daniel Lopez has been involved in some contact, but action all over the place here in this in Neo Endurance Green Hell. 2 hours and 45 minutes. We haven't checked in on our leaders for a little while, but it's Laurent Patel leading by 3.5 seconds to Stefan Mujar. Kevin Vikerman's is third. Fabio Gonzalez now finds himself, he did find himself in 4th place at the start of the lap, but Edmund Bose has managed to find his way back past, so it's as they were really. 6th place is Julian Aligo, 7th place is Joel Guez, 8th is Jacob Nilsson, and up to 9th place overall and leading the Cadillacs is Anders Dahl.
Yeah, so leading the Cadillacs, Anders Dahl. Just a quick shout out to our sponsors for this as well. So we have Derek Spear Designs with his custom stuff, iRacing Denmark, iRacing.com, and of course us, GlacierTV.
And also a quick shout out to our partners over at ETV Live Oval Broadcasters. So another quick mention for them as well. We know that the GlacierTV and ETV Live a bit of a partnership recently, so we'd just like to say hello to any of our fellow colleagues from ETV watching as well.
Shall we have a look at some of the Mustangs, Dan? We haven't checked in the Mustang field for a while.
That's a very good idea. Rip
so
Tequila.
I'll let you start.
Yeah, indeed, we have Rip Tequila in the lead. In second place is Kevin Parrish, who's just been overtaken by the car of Fredrik Follestad. So getting caught up in the mix of that Cadillac battle is Kevin Parrish. In third place is Patrick Bieri, who's not far behind Kevin Parrish at all. In 4th place is Dan Rash, and you can't rule Dan Rash out. He was involved in one of the closest finishes in GlacierTV history when we had the Roar Before the 2.4 at Daytona. Him and Kimo Suminen, 0.004 of a second it was at the Roar Before the 2.4. So Dan Rash, a proven race winner in big events using this Mustang, so he'd be one not to rule out. In 5th place we have Antti Fajala, but he's under a lot of pressure from, in fact he's lost the position to Oscar Salin. So Oscar Salin, who made that mistake earlier in the race, twitching the back end out there as he just comes out of turn 13. He's starting to make a bit of a recovery, and then the battle behind him is between Antti Fajala and the car of Randolph Chenoweth, but not far. And also, he's not about 3-4 seconds behind them is Russell Kleisen with Antti Timonen next. Then it's Florian Oost, and bringing out the Mustang field currently is Jesper Rydberg. But Rup Tequila, we've seen him in Ford GTs and other cars before. He's a very accomplished driver, very consistent, and we've seen him win many races before. And at the moment, he is the class of this Mustang field.
Yeah, the Mustangs are cruising around. It's quite a fun car to drive. One of the most entertaining cars to drive when you first start on this series. So it seems Gert Hagedorn has just been black flag, car 15. So he's not having a fun race so far. He's been in the naughty books a bit too often at the moment. But back to the Mustangs, yeah. If anyone's watching and want to try these cars out, you start the circuit. When you start a race, you start in the MX-5 is a great car to start with, and then move up to these Mustangs. So you've pretty much got on your screen right now. You've got the progression. You've got MX-5s, Mustangs, then you go to the Caddies, and then you can play around in the McLarens. So it's a good build for people to use if you're considering starting iRacing. We've also lost
just going on
Fabio
to that.
Gonzalez.
But he was running 4th place overall, and he's come across a bit of bother. So unfortunate for Fabio Gonzalez. We'll have a look back and see what happened there. But Gonzalez, one of the early front runners, is dropped down the field, and I think he might actually be out of the race. He's in the pits at the moment. He's been into the pits. He's back out now. He's been in the pits. So Fabio Gonzalez has had a bit of bother, but at the front of the field it's Laurent Mattel leading by 3.3 seconds to Stefan Mujla, and third place is Kevin Viekemans, not far behind him. And then there's a bit of a gap back. We've got about 13 seconds to Julien Naliga, but not far behind him in 4th place is Joel Guez. So Joel Guez there going to try and put some pressure on Naliga, and then in 6th place is Edwin Bose with Jacob Nielsen in 7th place. And in the Cadillac field we've got Anders Dahl leading the way. So Anders Dahl is leading the Cadillac. So Frederick Forrestad in 2nd place with John Paul Nuhi in 3rd place, Paul Ilbrink in 4th place with Rasmus Larsen in 5th place. And we said before about John Hall maybe trying to be able to get past Rasmus Larsen again, but Larsen seems to pull out a bit of a gap there, so John Hall with a bit of work to do.
Yep, and we need to check in our MX-5 drivers, because we haven't really talked about the MX-5s at all, and I feel a bit guilty, basically, because it's quite a close race. We've got some. They're all within a second of each other. It's quite good. We've got Jesper Pedersen out front, who was mighty quick in qualifying and practice, followed by the P2, his colleague that started on the front row of the MX-5 grid, Tommaso Carla, who's currently running, as I said, P2. Mike Tinason, who's we've seen before driving the high downforce HPD. He had a bit of an occasion in the last race, and he got the naughty boy comments from us. So he dive bombed a few slower cars and cost the Ford GT a good battle. So he's in the slower car out of the field now, so he's going to be looking in his rear mirrors as one of the McLarens actually comes up. That's our McLaren leader coming up to lap P4, Amir Diarmin, as he just cruises past. That's how to do it, folks. Just out the exit of the turn rather than going into a turn. You know you've got the quicker car, so you can just wait and just drive random on the exit. Gert Hagedorn has got another black flag for not correctly serving his penalty. So at the moment, the naughty hat is firmly placed on his head for not realising what he's doing, which is a bit worrying. Jarrett Yorson is P5, and he's got an MX-5 train behind him, which is Nick Thiessen and JB Maseda, who we know from such exploits as the Polo GT Cup. So there's some McLarens are diving around them whenever they can through the roller coaster. Bit crazy. But the MX-5 actually carries a little bit more mid-corner speed than the McLaren, which is unusual. But yeah, the MX-5 is not going too bad. Roselli's working his way up from his whatever happened to him. Andy Kay, my team boss, is currently cruising around and trying to hunt down Michael Mellis for that would be P18 class. So he's just trying to use the toe, and he's going to look to make a move down at the first corner at turn 1, which is the horseshoe. Oh, he's in the draft. He's going to make the pass beforehand. Down the inside, on the brakes, textbook. Very nice.
That's a great move.
Nicely done.
The battle I've been looking at is one we talk about with Jared Lawson, Nick Thiessen, JB Mercedes and Andrew Pinkerton. The four of them separated by not much at all. There's about 2-3 seconds separating the lot of them, and they've been battling most of the race like this. And very, very good to see this sort of racing in the MX-5s. But even though it's further down than the MX-5s, they're still racing at it fiercely. But back in the McLarens, it is Patel leading, Mushlar in second place, and Kevin Viekemans not far behind our second place man. In actual fact, Stefan Mushlar he's probably only about a second behind. So Viekemans is holding on to Stefan Mushlar at the moment. Julian Aligo is 15 seconds back of them, but he's also got in close attendance the car of Joel Guez as well. So despite the fact that we've lost quite a few of our McLarens, in fact there's only, at the moment we've got 6 of them who are running near the front, and then there's some who've had problems further back. So the 6 we have actually at the front of the race, but as we said before, it's a very, very long race, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Anything can happen during that time. So those cars at the moment who are a bit further back, like Aaron DeLong or Fabio Gonzalez, they could always catch up again. But at the moment it's 6 of the McLarens at the front of the field, and then 7th overall. We'll go a quick look at the Cadillacs. We've got Anders Dahl with Fredrik Follestad last 3 laps and started to make an impression on Anders Dahl. So Fredrik Follestad not far behind the Cadillac leader, and he's pulled out 5 seconds to Jean-Paul Nahis. So you said before, Rob, that Fredrik Follestad would be a man to watch. It seems like he's ever so slightly starting to get his fishing rod out and reel in that number 66 in front of him.
Fred doesn't fish. He's a superhero. He's just donned his cape. He's out the superhero mould. He's probably smoking a cigarette. He normally does this. He backs out, and this is when we think he smoked. And then he'll catch up again when he's put his cigarette down. He hasn't been watching the onboards of Max Dell'Orco from the DWC, or the WCS, sorry, who seems to qualify with a cigarette in his hand. So maybe Fred's trying to take a leaf out of his book. But yeah, he's definitely catching Anders, and they're coming up on traffic as well. So good opportunity for Fred now. Quite happy I've got my cup of tea now, so it's good.
I think this is a battle that we should keep an eye on, really, because Fredrik Follestad now right on the back here of Anders Dahl. So they go down into the horseshoe for what is their 13th time, and Fredrik Follestad really has got that gap down. Cigarette or not, he's certainly on a bit of a roll here. And we said before about the superheroes, maybe one from the Super Alexi Academy, of course, Alexia Lema.
Alexi is not radical enough. Fred is the only superhero.
A radical superhero. That actually, they go together quite well, to be fair.
Yeah, he's definitely the class of field. He's also our Inter as well, so responsible for our Corvette? Cadillac skin even, I'll get that right.
And he also wants to be responsible for taking the lead in class. He's right behind. So they got no traffic around them, so they can have a little bit of a battle. But it's not going to be too long before they encounter traffic or have traffic come onto them. But at the moment, it is Anders Dahl from Fredrik Follestad with Jean-Paul Nihus in 3rd. 4th position in class is Paul Wilbrink, but he's got the McLaren behind him of Aaron DeLong, who served penalty. But it's actually for position, which shows that these Cadillacs really aren't that much slower than the McLaren. In fact, the McLaren had the black flag penalty and found themselves behind quite a few of these Cadillacs. That battle we're talking about before, Rasmus Larsen and John Hall, that stretched out to 10 seconds, and if anything, John Hall might have to go on a defensive pretty shortly, because he's got Richard Schuteren behind him, and then it's Dujan Baldwin and Paul and Milo in the 16th place. So we'll have a quick look at the Mustangs, see what's going on there. It's still Rip Tequila in the lead with Kevin Parrish in second place. Patrick Bieri is in third place, but Patrick Bieri is under pressure from Dan Rash. Dan Rash can sense a podium right in front of him as they now come in now.
And if you want, sorry Dan, if you're wondering why this isn't quite on screen, it's because our cameraman is getting a cup of tea. So sometimes there might be breaking commentary between me or Dan because it's quite a long race. And there might be a break in now he's back. So we can get to this battle now, hopefully.
Yeah, and our race leader's just gone past them now. That's a battle for third place in the Mustangs between Patrick Bieri and Dan Rash. Dan Rash really close to that back bumper, and as we come down to Oak Tree, he'll be keen to try and get himself as much of a drive as possible. So in fact, he could try and make a move here down at Oak Tree. Right, he's stuck down the inside, and Patrick Bieri, I think he's just a bit, there's a Mazda in the wall as well I saw there at Oak Tree, but the main news is Dan Rash has taken third position, but Patrick Bieri is near drafting him. He's going to try and get past, but I think Dan Rash has been at this racing game far too long not to take it lightly. He'll hold the inside and make Patrick Bieri have to go round the outside, and Patrick Bieri doesn't do it. There's another McLaren coming up to them as well. That's the car of Kevin Viekemans in third place. So Kevin Viekemans going past our third and fourth place guys in the Mustangs. But that's a good move there from Dan Rash.
Yeah, it was well thought out, well planned, and with these moves, they don't just do it on a whim. Well, the better drivers don't, unless you're Sergio Perez. You tend to plan it a few corners before, and it was well planned, well thought out, and he just held his line. Yeah, it was a good move. Dan Rash is driving well, and he's obviously got the pace because he's already pulled out 3 or 4 car lengths. So, see if he can move himself up the field during this race.
Oh, Mazda battle still raging on. Jarrett Lawson trying to pull away, but he's got Nick Thiessen and JB Masida. That just going past them now is that's a Cadillac with that's the car number 30 of Rasmus Lawson.
Wow,
and Rasmus Lawson.
Not a play. Wow. That was mad.
He's certainly not hanging around, but as a result of this has allowed Nick Thiessen to catch ever closer to Jarrett Lawson. Jarrett Lawson up since that point, just starting to gap the rest of those just ever so slightly. But to just show one thing like that, we've said about this before, one little incident in traffic and you can catch right up again. But this battle has been raging on right from the start of the race between these four. It's Lawson, Thiessen, Masida and Andrew Pinkerton. And how far behind them is Andy Kay? Andy Kay is quite a way behind them, but a long way of this race to go. The leader has completed 35 minutes, so we've still got over 2 hours to go. Quite extraordinary to think that we've had so much action, but we're not even a quarter of the way into this race, I don't think, really.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We're a fifth of the way into the race, Dan. A fifth, basically. That's it. It's crazy, but yeah, the battle for the MX-5s is heating up. All four are so close together, and traffic obviously is playing a part because as soon as the car overtakes you, you kind of have that nervous moment where you left off, and there's caddies trying to do passes in crazy places, like through almost contact there with
Don Hall. That was number 80.
Yeah, why? You don't have to try and pass there. That's mad. Just because you're in a quicker car, that's how not to drive multi-class. Patience, otherwise it can ruin their race and ruin your race, as I alluded to before. He's got the speed on the straight, so the other caddy sitting behind is doing it the right way. He's going to wait till a clear opportunity and then just use the horsepower of the car, which he does, makes a clean pass, and then lines up the next one. That's how to race, basically. But yeah, now that's spread out the MX-5 battle. People are holding other people up.
I don't think it'll be too long though before they connect back together again. It seems like they've almost got a magnetic attraction to each other, these four. So hopefully that will kick back into life very soon. We're looking before at the battle between Anders Dahl and Fredrik Follestad at the head of the Caddy field, and they're still quite close together. Follestad about not even half a second, I would say, behind the car of Anders Dahl. And those two have definitely pulled out. They pulled about 17 seconds out to the next car of John Paul Nui. But so just now going through turn 13 up towards the female dog corner, as Rob Cuss likes to call it. downhill towards 15 and 16.
Exactly. To be honest, I wasn't watching that. I was watching Anthony Rosselli trying to fight his way back from whatever problems he had before, and he's made a couple of places back already. So he's just knuckled down. He's lapping quite quickly. He's lapping quite a few seconds quicker than the guys in front. So I estimate halfway through he might be back in contention in his own class for a top 5.
The next two in front of him are Joey With and Michael Manis, and seems like your Radicals boss Andy's had a bit of a heart in mouth moment now. Just having a look back at it now, and it was a McLaren. That was a very not really the sort of move Andy would want to see. It was the car of Fabio Gonzalez there, down in the twisty section.
Yeah, it's not the wisest place to pass. A little bit of history on Andy Kay while we're talking about him. He enjoys to fly fish. If he's not iRacing, he's fly fishing in a lake, in his waders somewhere. For trout, which is cool. Bit of a disparity from the carnage that is iRacing to the chilled, sitting in the middle of a lake in a boat with a fly fishing rod. So
the two hobbies could come hand in hand, because being the slower car in this race could end up actually flying, but for those sort of puns for one night.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But yeah, there's some action going around. Let's see what else is going on. Let's have a look at. Let's go back to the McLarens, your favourite class. Seems to be a battle for P4 and P5. They look like teammates running quite close. So I wonder if they're under the multi-21 team orders.
That's the car.
Julian Oligo and Joel. Yeah.
Yeah, Julian Oligo and Joel Guez. We saw before that Kevin Viekemans was not far behind Stefan Mujar, but in actual fact, the last few laps has seen the number 19 car pull quite a gap out to Viekemans. It's about 8 seconds, 8 seconds. As he Mujar just goes past one of the MX-5s. That's Andrew Pinkerton. So in fact, he's coming across that big battle we were talking about earlier, and going across the grass there was JB Masida, just trying to get out of the way. These little MX-5s will sacrifice themselves near enough just to get out of the way of these McLarens, the big scary things in their mirrors. The 25 there that's the car that was leading that little train there of Jarrett Lawson, very nearly up close and personal very quickly with our second place driver there, but good driving by them both to avoid the incident.
As James Wallace gets a drive-through for the abuse of chat. Bit of harsh penalty given out by race control there, so behave yourselves, boys. Big brother is watching you, or in this case, Igor Sandfeld is watching you.
In a race like this, though, you got to think that there's a lot going on. The last thing I know from my experiences, I'm in the zone, I'm really concentrated. The last thing I really want to hear is someone rabbiting on in the voice chat. So I can see the reasonings for it.
It's a mute button. Yeah, no, I agree. But if you want to be that concentrated, then you turn off your sounds, turn off the in-game chat while you're driving. Job done. Easy.
But there must have been some clear set rules before the race, which Mr. Wallace has found himself infringing of. But I think that will stray. I don't think he can make the same mistake twice.
No, definitely. He's had a telling off from the headmaster, and he's been released from the headmaster's office.
Oh, that brings back a lot of memories of school. But moving swiftly on, Ryan Patel is a 5-second lead to Stefan Mujar. Kevin Viekemans in third, and that battle we were talking about before about Julian Ligo and Joel Guez. In fact, Joel Guez has lost a lot of time over that last lap, and Rob. They were quite close together, and it seems that Joel lost a little bit of time.
Just a bit of traffic, just caught it in the wrong place, which as I said, can happen. And yeah, he just caught some traffic at a bad time. He'll catch his teammate back up, I'm sure. Jacob Nelson's not too far behind now, so once he sees that car in front, target acquired, and we'll see how he gets on. But just moving on to the caddies, seems Anders Dahl's pulled out a little bit more of a gap on Frederick, but as Anders just got held up a touch coming out of Oak Tree. Javen Mercedes having some connection issues, sadly. Well,
that's a shame. He was one of those 4 cars that were involved in that MX-5 battle, which were of our main sources of attention as such on Glacier TV, so it's a shame.
Yeah, but it's such a long race, he could probably come back in. I mean, AJ Roselli started a couple of laps down basically, and he's made his way, started making his way through the MX5 field, and JB's quick enough, so hopefully he'll come back and carry on with his driving. That would be good to see, as Frederick is now on the back door of Andersdale due to traffic. So we'll keep a quick eye on that as they go through the fast roller coaster section coming up on one of the Radicals cars.
We've just seen a move as well in the Mustangs. The car of Ansi Hunen has made a move on Russell Kleisen going, going down the back straight. I think it was under braking to Madison Avenue. So that's a position gain for Russell Kleisen. And how far has he got? He hasn't actually got far till the next car, which is Antti Fajala. He's probably about...
Frederick Folletad just spun. Frederick Folletad just spun. I've just seen it. Overtaking his teammate.
That is a shame for Frederick Folletad. And there's also a Mazda, which is... very close there. He nearly had a Mustang go straight into the back of him. And it's a bit of a frenzy at the moment there, Rob.
Yeah, it was just they just caught the MX5 at the wrong time, and basically caused, I think that might have been AJ Roselli. They caught in a twisty section. Fred just got his wheel on the grass. I don't think he did any damage to his car. I think it was just a spin. So maybe reports are saying that he may have had some contact with the MX5. So we'll see how his car performs.
Coming up to about 45 minutes into the race, if Frederick does have a small bit of damage, it wouldn't be too far off his pit strategy, I would have thought. So, will it affect him too badly if he has to come and fix a little bit of damage at this stage of the race?
It might affect his chances for the win, but not a podium, because he's quick. You know, the boy's quick, so he can get his damage sorted out on his car. But Anders is looking strong out front, to be fair. I mean, I'm rooting for Fred, obviously, but to be honest, Anders is driving a solid race right now, so we'll see how he gets on.
And speaking of pits, our race leader, Laurent Battel, is heading down to the pit lane to take his first pit stop of the evening, which puts Efren Moujlar in the lead. But it'll be interesting to see where Laurent Battel comes out. I think he'll come out in front of Julian Naligo. Julian Naligo is about 35 seconds, with 35 seconds behind.
Yeah, we'll see how these pan out, but I mean, Laurent's fast, we've seen that, so the first pit stops aren't going to be like super important. It'll sort of be the second and third ones. Oh, Frederick's got an ill-handling Cadillac, definitely, because he didn't have fun through the roller coaster then, so
it's quite likely we may see that number 16 go through the pitch. You were saying before about Laurent Battel being a very fast driver, and you like to say about Timo Evenham locking them in a dark room. Do you think he's released them for this one, it being a team, not being a team race, you think?
No. I've heard rumours of Timo in his rooms. It's quite scary. I think he's just been drilled into a McLaren driving machine, and that's it. He's focused, locked in, wearing the McLaren hat for the next 2 hours 45 minutes. The boys have been practicing hard, so yeah, IMX racing are crazy. Crazy amount of time being put in by those guys, but a lot of teams are. I mean, they're a good model for any aspiring team or drivers. Take a look at those drivers, the amount of time they put in to be as quick as they are and be as good as they are. It's not just, you can't just pick up a steering wheel and go for a drive and be that quick. So
yeah, an inside source also says that a threat by Timo Evenham to unleash the vocal talents of Yukas Nakarina could also have a bit of an effect on their performance.
More than likely.
Moving swiftly on, it's Stefan Moujlar leading in the McLaren class, with Kevin Beekemans in second and Laurent Battel in third. Looking at our Cadillac field, it is Anders Dahl leading, but the battle for the lead very much has been neutralised with the incident with Frederick Folletad. And actually, speaking of incidents, we seem to have lost who was the guy who was in the third position. that was
Jan Paul.
Yeah, he's lost some time. In fact, he's lost a position. Paul Ilbrink.
Is he pitted off the camera?
He may have actually pitted, that's what I thought. We are now into the...
Hang on.
No, he hasn't pitted.
I'm just looking back. I have no idea. I'm sure we'll find out why, and we'll get informed.
He's had a couple of very slow laps. So this last lap was a 2-minute 46.4, which is about 12 seconds slower than some of the laps he's been running before. So obviously maybe he's had a bit of problems with traffic or a little bit of an off, and it's cost him a position to Paul Ilbrink.
Yep, the calls 2 and 3. Woohoo! We're doing alright. And yeah, it's good.
There's also a warning coming up for the number 33 of Wimbose for avoidable contact. So that's the car which is currently sat in third position. It's not third. Where is it?
He's currently sat
18th.
In pit lane at the moment.
He's in the pit lane. He's in 18th position. Could the warning for avoidable contact and his stay in the pits be connected, I wonder?
Yeah, probably. That's what happens when drivers don't have a great start or don't have much luck at the start of the race and they try and battle their way through. They don't think about it as Andy Kirschkort decides to bring his MX-5 to pit road. So is that a scheduled stop, I wonder?
Haven't spoken much about the Mustangs recently, but I am keeping the track of it, and it's Root Tequila in the lead from Kevin Parrish. Dan Rash is in third place, and Dan Rash starting to make maybe a little bit of an impression on the car of Kevin Parrish. He got past Patrick Bieri a few laps ago, and he sees that car in second place. He's getting ever closer to it, so depending on what happens with their fuel strategies, these Mustangs can go quite a distance on fuel.
Sorry, I was just watching the pitting of the MX-5s and Andy Cade just decided to miss his pit box. So he needs to go to Specsavers, maybe work on a sponsorship deal for that. Thank you, Still Serious, by the way, for looking after us. Free plug. But yeah, it looks like the MX-5s are all pitting, which is quite interesting. So I'll keep an eye on this.
Yeah, the battle for the MX-5s on the pit road, but Jesper Pedersen and Tommaso Carla. Tommaso Carla has not actually let Jesper Pedersen out of his sight. Tommaso Carla very well, because as people with GlacierTV will know, Jesper Pedersen has been living in the iRacing World Grand Prix Series. He's definitely not one of the slow drivers on the surface. And we're now looking at the battle for third place in the Cadillac. So talked about the car of John Nihu losing time, and now he's all over the back of Paul Ilbrink as they come down the straight at Madison Avenue towards turn 13 and the female dog corner. So be interesting to see what happens as they get down to that corner. Nihu's later on the brakes.
That's been black flagged for avoidable contact oak trees.
That's going to change our Mustang. That will definitely make a change in our Mustangs, and that means that Dan Rash, in actual fact, and Kevin Parrish could be actually playing for the lead. And there's a car off as well. I can see at the exit of the Oak Tree corner. That is the car of Paul Van Mierlo. So Van Mierlo in the Cadillac has been off. That's the number 88 car. So he's in a bit of trouble. He's currently he's currently the last of the currently running Cadillacs. But if he keeps doing moves like that, it probably won't be long until he's a non-runner. I think there's a little bit of damage as well to the front of that car. Be interesting to see what's actually happened to him.
Yeah, it seems, I don't know if Rupi's got what happened to Rupi and maybe he hit, but he's hit someone. But that does open the door for Kevin Parrish and Dan Rash. And now, you know, I said Kevin was good, but for me, the drive of the first 50 minutes of this race is Dan Rash. He's quietly going about his business, not getting in any trouble, and he's driving really well. So hopefully catch up the back door of Kevin and see what he does. It looks like he slid into a MX-5 basically, Rupi Tequila. So he's outbraked himself and hit an MX-5.
Very unfortunate. In multi-class racing, sometimes you do get this. People do try to be careful, but it is racing and people do make mistakes. It's hard. You've got to remember, these guys aren't professional drivers in the slightest. They love their racing and they aspire to be like their heroes on television, and sometimes they don't always get it right.
Frederick Follestad slammed the wall again in the left hook. By the looks of it, his car got a little loose and he's I wonder how much damage he's got
on the
now.
grass again now, and Frederick Follestad's really struggling. To be able to get it back to the pits is the question. It would be such a shame to see the car of Frederick Follestad have to retire from this race, because him and Anders Dahl, it was shaping up to be a fantastic battle in the Cadillac field, and with the possible demise of Frederick, I think it certainly will. Anders Dahl probably won't enjoy the last. How long we've got left? He won't probably enjoy near enough 2 hours left of the race, and Anders Dahl was pretty much unchallenged at the moment. So losing Frederick Follestad would be a bitter blow.
Good battle for P3 and P4 in the caddies, however, between Paul Ilbrink and Jan Paul Niehaus. They're only split by about a tenth of a second right now. As Ilbrink gets it all kinds of sideways going through one of the switchback sections, but he managed to correct it, and Jan Paul couldn't take any advantage. But it looks like they're catching Fred quite quickly, obviously, because Fred's struggling with that damaged car. So we'll see if he brings it to pit road at this time by.
Frederick Follestad really seems to be struggling with that car, and as you said before, Paul Ilbrink and Jean-Paul Nouhy will be catching him up pretty quickly, and we should see what happens with Follestad. Is he going to come down towards pit road? He doesn't like that's going. No, he's going to keep on going. So fair play to Frederick Follestad. He has got some adversity, but he wants to fight through it, and that's the sort of attitude you're going to need if you're going to succeed here at the Green Hill.
Exactly. If the MX-5s they've been down to pit road, so the caddies can't be that far short of pitting as well. So maybe he's just going to try and hang on and get most of his damage fixed while in the pits.
The gap back
and make it just.
The gap back from Frederick to Paul Ilbrink is about 11 seconds, but as we said before, a very good battle for third place between Ilbrink and Jan-Paul Nouhy. We're looking at this battle, but while we keep looking at it, I'm just going to go back to our leaders, and it seems to me as if in fact Stefan Mujar just coming into pit lane now. They pitted quite a while after, and Vikermans is in the pits as well. It seems like Laurent Battel pitted quite early, considering the other two have only just come in now.
Yeah, but maybe he's thinking he can clear people. He maybe decided to time it. Maybe Timo spotted him for him and said, look, you're going to come out in traffic. All the other guys are going to come out in traffic, etc, etc. So we'll see how it pans out for him.
I'm still watching this third place battle in the Cadillac, and Ilbrink and Jean-Paul Nouhy just go past the Radicals leader, Andy Kay, and he's got a slipstream here, Nouhy. So coming down Madison Avenue now, going down to turn 13, Nouhy goes down towards the inside, late on the brakes, last of the late breakers, and that is how you overtake in the corner. Textbook stuff there from Jan-Paul Nouhy, and as a result, he's onto the podium. That's third place in the Cadillac class, and that was quite a spectacular move there, but it really was quite a simple one as well.
Yeah, he's pulled a good move, but Paul will be looking to fight back, knowing how he drives. Although it seems Jan's car seems a little bit quicker in a straight line, so we'll keep an eye on this battle. As I said, they must be close to pitting, surely.
With these, we said before about it in a straight line, just how much of a difference in setup with these cars, the Cadillac, how much of a difference can you make cars?
They are quite basic, but obviously a lot of different things can give you a bit more straight line speed. You can run higher tyre pressures, etc, etc, so there's less rolling resistance. You change the wing, all sort of stuff. Edwin Boss has now been black flagged for avoidable contact on lap 19 in turn 10 as I said, Paul Ilbrink to pit road.
So Paul Ilbrink is the first of our Cadillac top three to blink as such, and Paul Ilbrink into the pits from Radicals. We see Paul Ilbrink on a regular basis on GlacierTV, in the Polar GT and of course the iRacing World Grand Prix Series. And we've got a black flag as well for Tommaso Carlo. So Tommaso Carlo, who is one of our front runners in the Mazda MX-5 class, has been black flagged.
No, he hasn't. He's had it cleared. Race control cleared that, so that might have been a mistake. So we'll keep an eye on that though.
We'll keep an eye on it, and I think Tommaso Carlo actually lost quite a bit of time. I don't know if, I think some of the cars, I wonder if all the cars in front of him were pitted because he was right near the front, and now he finds himself, wow, he's battling out with Andrew Bitter, and there's a Cadillac slinging the back end out in front of him, and that must be something that's pretty scary.
Oh, there's a Mustang off. That looks like Dan Rash's car. There was a Mustang that just got on the grass. Let's just check in with Dan Rash quickly, and it was Dan Rash who slid it off the track. A little bit of oversteer coming out of. Let me just check what corner it was. It looks like the hairpin, which is the
bitch corner.
It was, and it was
Dan
a bit
Rash.
of a bitch. Apparently.
It was for Dan Rash indeed. Dan Rash hasn't lost too much time. He didn't hit anything, so it was a lucky escape for such a Dan Rash. Probably cost him between 5 to 7, 8 seconds maybe, but it could have been a lot worse. And that has come through from race control. Indeed, it was a mistake for the black flag for the number 3 of Tommaso Carlo. So, as we were for him.
And Frederick Follestad is still driving his car around in the Caddies as Neil Heekins from Race Control gives himself a black flag for making a mistake. But Jan-Paul Niehaus is only 11 seconds back from Frederick Follestad and on the move.
Yeah, Jan-Paul Niehaus indeed on the move, and he just got past Paul Ilbrink before his pit stop, and now he's found himself in relatively clear air. So be interesting to see once the pit cycle's completed just how much this clean air has helped Jean-Paul, how much of a gap he'll have over Paul Ilbrink. As Rob said before, Paul Ilbrink is a driver who won't take that line down, he'll try and fight back. He's got plenty of time to fight back, as we now just about complete the first hour of our 2 hour and 45 race here at the Virginia International Raceway, the Green Hill.
Yes, brought to you by GlacierTV, Derek Spear Designs, iRacing Denmark, and us, me and Dan, because we're that good.
Wow. Laurent Batel got a 20-second lead at the front of this field for Stefan Mujda. Got Kevin Viekemans in 3rd place, Julian Naligo is in 4th, and João Ruiz in 5th place. Going into the Cadillac field now, Anders Dahl has made a pit stop because Frederick Follestad has gone in front of him, so it looks like a pit stop there for Anders Dahl. We got Frederick Follestad and also a pit stop for Jean-Paul Nieuwien. Now where's Paul Ilbrink? That's what we're going to see. Paul Ilbrink now comes down the start-finish straight, but Jean-Paul Nieuwien has made that extra track space work for him well as he takes that position back. But as they come down into the horseshoe, it'll be interesting to see just how close they are.
They're about 10 car lengths apart, roughly. They're a good margin apart as they come down into the. I can't even see what corner they come up. Looks like Jan Paul is heading through the left-hander towards Oak Tree. That left-hander is all about commitment. It's a brilliant corner, probably the best one on the track, because you go. You just drop it a gear and pin it and chuck it sideways. It's a fun corner. Yeah, Paul made it through that quite nicely. He has got, it looks like he's got the McLaren class leader of Laurent Bertel not far behind him. We also have, don't forget, we have our live timing up, which is a good little addition to our streaming.
You can find that at GlacierTV.com/live for the latest live timing. That's brought to you by Glacier TV. And as we said before, the first hour we've had passed. What have your highlights been so far this first hour, Rob?
My cup of tea. was
What
a
about on the
definite
track?
highlight on the track. There's highlights in every class. The battles have been very good. The driving standard's been excellent. And let's get, I believe, we have a driver standing by for an interview. But yeah, no, the highlights have been the event so far. It's been very enjoyable, and there's been good battles and not a lot of casualties either, which is always good in endurance racing.
Yeah, as you said, we do have an interview coming very shortly with Egil Sandfeld, one of the stewards in for this race. That'll be interesting to see his thoughts on the first hour and how the race is going in general from an administrative point of view. It's not very often you get to speak to these admin race control people, so nice little insight. We're now joined by Egil Sandfeld. Egil is the Yo Green How. How do you think it's gone in the first hour?
It's been busy. We have so much fun. This track is so challenging for drivers, and you can really tell by the language of the cars running around.
What do you think of the driving standard? I think the driving standard's been pretty good. Considering the 4 classes, I think the driver's doing a sterling job.
Yeah, me too. I raced this layout myself 2 times, and both times everyone was really taking it easy on the traffic and on the race, because the track is so challenging itself. So yeah, it's a state of mind to not just go bonkers from the start, but to easily to get into the rhythm before trying to challenge the guys ahead.
And who do you think, obviously, who's your pick for each class as we go through this? Do you have a favourite driver? Do you have a favourite driving style? Do you have someone that you like to watch? Or do you have, who's the bad boy of the race?
Oh, I like everyone.
Very
diplomatic.
Very diplomatic.
I have to be.
There,
I have to be. Yeah. You guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.
We're trying. We're not quite with Vincent wherever we are. I hope you're enjoying the vodka that's probably in your right hand. As one of the caddies just got it all kinds of completely sideways, and he's off the track. And that looks like was that Jan Paul? Yeah, it was. It was Jan Paul.
Thank you very much, Egil, for that interview. I'll let you get back to your duties.
Good, cheers.
Yeah, Jan Paul got it all kinds of wrong just now, but he's recovered and he's back on the track.
Did Paul Ilbrink manage to find a way past as a result of that?
No, he's a bit further back, but he's gained time. There's traffic all in front of him.
And Fredrik Follestad has been off track again, so Fredrik Follestad...
He's in the scenery.
Oh, he's off into the grass there. So Fredrik Follestad is keeping out the wall. He's kept out of the wall, but Fredrik Follestad, that Cadillac is really proving a bit of a challenge for him at the moment to drive, and really credit Fredrik for keeping on with it. Hopefully he'll be able to fix it and get back to the levels he was at before, but really Fredrik Follestad not having... We said that he was one of the favourites for the Cadillac class, which he undoubtedly was, but he's not really having it all his own way so far in this opening 65 minutes of the race.
Sadly not. No, it seems to be having a bit of an issue with the handling of his car, and he's using all his superpowers to try and keep it on the road. Obviously they faded slightly.
We're now on board with the car of Laurent Bertel, as you can see now, just coming up through cheek corner turn 12. He's got an MX-5 and the Cadillac in front of him, swings out to the right to pass that Mazda. You can just see the difference in speed there, even just on pure acceleration. But as compare it to the Cadillac doesn't actually seem to lose much time to this McLaren on the straight, but as you see under braking, catches right up to the Cadillac, and it just shows, Rob, that this McLaren, even though the Cadillacs are quicker, well not quicker, but they have parity near enough on the straight, the cornering speed of this MP4 12C is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, yes, exactly. As he's actually catching up to Jan Paul, who's running P3 in the Caddy race, so we will see where he decides to make this move.
There's also quite a few cars in front, so it's going to actually be good. I hope you're enjoying this on-board view of Laurent Battel. We're going to see now just how a race leader goes through traffic. So far, Laurent Battel seems to have a lot of patience there from Laurent. Stefan Moujlan, in fact, has put the gap down to about 11 seconds, but this is a horrible amount of traffic as we saw the car of John Paul go past the Mustang, and also that's Dan Rash involved as well. So we've just gone past Patrick Bieri. So Patrick Bieri and Dan Rash are fighting for position in the Mustangs. Here it goes now. And in fact, is he coming into the bit? Very close across the white line there was Laurent Battel. Very unorthodox line, and now he can get boxed in. This is Eddie Horse come out the pit lane as well. Wow, the amount of concentration Rob's do on these races, and it just shows just from that.
Oh, one of the McLarens just got tagged. The contact behind. There's a McLaren and a Mustang, and Dan Roush is involved. That looked like Patrick Bieri has just been involved in an incident. No, it wasn't Patrick Bieri. Dan Rash definitely was. I'm just trying to locate the car that come out of the pit lane. It was one of the Mustangs hit one of the McLarens. I can't quite see who it was.
That's very unfortunate, but as we saw down with Laurent Battel, you could really have your head on your shoulders and be composed, because many inexperienced drivers in that situation, I think, would have panicked there. But we saw Laurent stayed as cool as a cucumber, got through the traffic, and he's on his way again.
Exactly, and there's another car off the road. This car's off everywhere. What's going on? It's that everyone's kind of getting tired, losing a bit of concentration and making silly mistakes. But yeah, traffic's such a key thing in night class racing. It's all about biding time, as we keep saying. That was mad.
Well, but then a quick rundown of all four classes. Well, we're not going to say why it's quiet, because it's never quiet here at the Green Hell. But it's Laurent Battel who's leading in our McLaren class. We've just been on board with him. In second is Stefan Moujlan. In third is Kevin Beekman. In fourth is
the Mustang off at
Julian Ligo. And with more information on the Mustang off the track, it's Rob Cuss.
It might be a Caddy actually. I think it's Caddy. Sorry, I couldn't see. I'm in blimp mode, so I'm just trying to focus on whatever car it was. John Hall it was.
And also Randolph Chenoweth's track as well, the number 50 in the Cadillacs. So a couple of Cadillacs off track there, it seems. In John, it's a Cadillac and a Mustang in John Hall.
Mental. The concentration is slipping.
They've only just about. It's still a long way to go in this race. So if concentration slipping now, could be a bad sign for later in the race. But the top five in our Cadillac class is Anders Dahl, who currently leads that class. In second place is Jean-Paul Nouy, with Paul Ilbrink in third. I mean, ailing Frederick Follestad is still out there. He's still putting the laps in.
Jean-Paul Niehaus has just gone off at Horseshoe and is taking the rallycross route, and he's chopping the grass down, so he's interrupted there. But he's just got an off-track excursion.
The first of many off-track excursions we've seen these drivers on today. They're looking to explore the Virginia countryside, some of them, but yeah, John Paul Niehaus off the track, and Paul Ilbrink has not been able to get past him. Paul Ilbrink is still behind him, but another lapse of concentration like that, and Paul Ilbrink will be able to find a way past. And for someone like Ilbrink, who does race quite a few long distance races, he races in the Prototype GT Challenge, the 65-minute races. We've seen him racing in the Grand Prix series, so racing in longer races should see Paul Ilbrink maybe have an advantage over some of his counterparts in his race.
Yep, he's a very accomplished driver, and we're lucky to have him. He drives a lot of different classes very well. He's your all-rounder, which is always handy to have. But I'm alluding to the people going off track. Apparently in Virginia right now there's a grass snake warning, and what it is these snakes are like rubber, and they grab the tyres and pull you off the track. So drivers just have to be careful to look out for the Virginia grass snake.
very feisty species. I've heard the Virginia grass snake. I wouldn't want to come across one of those anyway. But look, we haven't spoken about the Mustangs in a while, and Kevin Parrish currently leads that class with Oscar Silent in 2nd place, Patrick Bieri 3rd, Dan Rash is in 4th position with Russell Kleisen in 5th place, and the Mazda MX-5s, they've been a bit neglected recently as well, so we'll get back to them. We've got Jesper Pedersen leading that class with Mike Venusen in 2nd, Amjad Jarmins in 3rd place, Jarrett Lawson's in 4th, Nick Thiessen currently running in the 5th place with Tomasa Carla 7th, Mikael Minas in 7th, Andrew Pinkerton is in 8th, Joey Woodcock in 9th, and Andy is in 9th position.
And the last of the runners, by the looks of it, looks like the others are many laps down. They've either pulled their cars off or decided JB Masida didn't come back, sadly.
And
looks
also,
like Rossetti's parked his car.
Roop Tequila, one of our front runners in the Mustang class, has also gone missing as well. I'll have a look and see what's happened to him, but the race leader in that class has gone missing, so very unfortunate for Roop. We're trying to find out what's happened to him, but that is big news in the Mustang class.
Yeah, it's massive news. It's sad. He was flying. He was driving really well, and he's
a lot of damage to the front. I think he's had a contact with somebody. The front end of that Mustang was crumpled up, so he's had contact with another car. But what's led him to retire
Or
from the race? I wonder.
Did he have contact with the car? Or did he hit the wall? Did a grass snake get him, or polar bear, or other form of wild animal? Maybe a bear, brown bear out the woods. There's a lot of woodland around here. Hunter could have got his aim wrong and hit the front of his car with a rifle. Who knows? It's quite dangerous down in Virginia.
No, very, very dangerous indeed in Virginia.
Have you lost your train of thought, Dan?
Very, very, yeah, well, I've got a couple of technical difficulties, so I don't know if you want to take over quickly or I just quickly sort them out.
Well, that is not good. So while Dan's sorting himself out, he's probably lost his pants or something, or his mum's brought in some like fresh socks that he has to put on. We'll go back to the MX-5s. And
I'm back now, Rob. Roop Tequila was the Mustang who was involved in that incident you were talking about in Turn 1. There would have been we've just had a message through from Race Control, so thank you very much, Race Control, for this message. Fabio Gonzalez, number 4, would have got an avoidable contact penalty, but it seems that he has disconnected as well. So there was contact. It involved Fabio Gonzalez and Roop Tequila. So thank you very much for that information, Race Control. That explains the mystery.
Well done. That does. It was not a member of the wildlife of West Virginia. It was another car. Dun dun dun. That was probably battling his way back through the pack and decided to try and dive bomb someone, which happens. Anyway, let's back to the MX-5s, and I'm watching Mr. Pedersen cruising around. He's got a Cadillac coming up fast behind him as they go side by side. It's just to make the Will Vincent fans enjoy that little moment. But yeah, Jesper's kind of just cruising away from the rest of the field at the moment, and just seems to be settled down nicely into a rhythm. Mike Tennyson is like way back compared with to where he was before. And then Yanmin, sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, is about 3 corners back from Mike Tennyson, so it's about a 12-second gap. And Jarrett Lawson is about the same. So the MX-5s are spread out pretty much evenly, because they're all about 10 seconds, 12 seconds away from each other. There's no real battles on track as such.
There is a battle for P3 and 4 in the McLaren, because Julian Aligo, under pressure from Kevin Viekemans has caught up to that number 89 car. It just goes past the Mazda number 26. There's some tyre smoke there as well, so I can't see a car from distance. A little bit of tyre smoke though, and the car that just went past was the number 26. That's Jesper Pedersen, our leading MX-5 driver. But Julian Aligo and Kevin Viekemans in battle for that final podium position. And also, in fact, it's a 3-way battle as well, because you've got Joel Bears also. So Rob says it's not much of a battle on the track, but there's a slobber knocker going on for third place. It's Aligo, Viekemans and Guez. They now just come around turn 12, Oak Tree, and onto Madison Avenue. I think Joel Guez might actually try and make a move here. He's got right behind the draft of Kevin Viekemans. He's going to take it to the inside. We've seen
they go side by side.
Side by side, our Vincent voice, and there we go. It's a move made by Joel Guez, so he takes full position of Kevin Viekemans. We've seen that move done a couple of times. It's rather text move, but it has to be done. Also, to make that move stick, you've got to have a bit of cooperation from the other driver as well.
Yeah, the teammates are they may have communicated. They're probably on their radios going, yeah, he's weak here, let's chuck it up the inside, you know what I mean? A bit of team driving probably. They've been running nose to tail multi-21 for quite a while. A big shout out to Jarno Matikainen as well for he's our cameraman, working ever so hard in this race to bring you the best view you possibly can get at the Virginia International Raceway.
Yeah, a big thank you to Jarno. So much action on track, it must be hard. As always on Glacier TV, we try to bring you the best coverage of sim broadcasting on our race, and you can find us, Joel Guez and Kevin Viekemans coming down the front straight, down towards the horseshoe, and Viekemans trying to get close enough to be able to make a move, but he's not quite there, and there's a Mazda MX-5 to throw into the mix as well, going into the horseshoe. That's the number 48. For the Mazdas which have gone past, and that is the car of Joey with Up. So they go past him, but it's allowed the car of Julian Naligo to pull away a little bit, and out the front Stefan Muschler is catching up to Laurent Vettel. The gap's down now to 7.6 seconds. So that the number 19 car, currently running second, it's got a bit of clear track, it's making the most of it.
Yeah, it seems so. He's got Laurent in sights, but has he got the out-and-out pace of Laurent? We don't know. Probably, if I'm honest, not. But I'm sure he will prove me wrong as he flies around in nice paint job on that McLaren, I have to say. Stefan's got quite a nice yellow and black. It's like a wasp that's acquired its target. Doesn't look anything like a wasp, really. I'm just rambling on. It's got quite a nice, cool, squared paint scheme on the back of that as he chucks it through the roller coaster. Coming up on an MX-5. So where's he going to try and pass him?
Yeah, the MX-5, we're talking about the difference in pace between the cars. Currently, our leading MX-5, Jesper Pedersen, is 5 laps down. Our leading Mustang, which is the 69er Kevin Parrish, is 4 laps down. And our leading Cadillac of Anders Dahl is actually still on the lead lap at the moment. So it just shows that after a minute and not a minute, an hour and 18 minutes of racing. I know it's been a very long minute. An hour and 20 minutes of racing. That the class structure that Neo I've got for this race has been spot on.
Frederick Follestad is currently not on the racetrack. I think he may have parked his car finally. Sadly.
That is a shame.
I don't know
Frederick
where
did
he
very
went.
well.
Lap 20. He was doing alright. Let's have a little look as I flick back. He was running on lap 30, and has he been off again? The quick flick through, yeah, he's gone off again, and that's it. He is done. He's parked his car, sadly.
The perseverance he showed really does show some credit. I think quite a few drivers would have parked up long before that, but Frederick Forrestad loves his iRacing and we've seen his videos on YouTube. Very well renowned video maker on YouTube is Frederick Forrestad. Check them out sometime as well. But yeah, he's out of this race unfortunately, so I don't think he'll be making too many videos about his Green Hell experience today.
No, he did do one that was amazing with a caddy, but sadly, yeah, that's his race over. But we still have a radical in the top 3. Go Paul Ilbrings, you are our only hope.
When you said had a picture of Princess Leia from Star Wars in my mind, but that's probably about the only time that Rob Cuss is going to be compared to Princess Leia. But as we see now, it's
Thanks, mate.
It's alright, no trouble.
Muppet.
Paul Wilbrink in third place, and the gap between him and Jan Paul Nias is probably about near enough the length of the Madison Avenue Straight. So, in terms of how long we've been racing, it's not too far, really, but there's still plenty of time to go. So, Paul Wilbrink can maybe try and get that second position, but Anders Dahl is away with the Cadillac race. He's pretty much, he is uncontested at the moment. He's just going to try and keep his head down. And Rob, for some drivers, this could be actually harder than racing, because it's for him, it's now really turned into hot lapping.
No, you don't want a hot lap in an endurance race. You just want to keep a steady pace. Hot lapping is dangerous, especially if you're getting bored. But no, best thing to do is just get yourself into a rhythm, get yourself set up to a pace that you know you can maintain the gap to the guy behind. It's quite interesting because in the McLarens there's 5 runners in the top 5. Then P6 is Anders Dahl in the Cadillac, so he's actually only, considering he's driving a Caddy, which is a bit down on cornering speed and a bit down on overall pace, he's only 3 spots off the podium, the overall podium. Now that is impressive.
There is a long way to go, and I've got my words a bit wrong. I didn't mean literally hot lapping, but running by yourself is probably the term I would use. I wouldn't recommend hot lapping either on a race like this, to be honest. But
No.
But yeah, Anders Dahl, probably one of my early contenders for driver of the day so far.
Whoa, was he Christ? Wow.
That was
cameras.
that
was crazy.
That was the race leader putting a lap, his first lap down for Anders Dahl, but a bit of squeaky bum time there because the number 98, Mike DeMuser, running second in the MX-5 class, in the mix there as well. But we've had a minute, not a minute, I said it again, an hour and 23 minutes as Laurent Battal leading the McLaren class. We've got Stefan Mugler 9 seconds behind, 42 seconds back from the leader. In third place is Junior Ligo. Managed to pull about 4 seconds on the fourth place car, Joel Guez. Kevin Viekemans is running 5th, and then 6th in the McLaren class, running 2 laps behind, is Aaron DeLong. 7th place is he's fresh from the headmistress's office, or headmaster even, Gert Hagdoon in 7th. 8th is Jacob Nielsen, and 9th is Edwin Bose. And those are the only McLarens we still have running. In the Cadillac class, it's Anders Dahl, the class of the field. The second is Jan-Paul Nahi, with Paul Wilbrink from the Radicals in 3rd. Rasmus Larsen is in 4th. John Paul in 5th. Hugo Baudrin is 6th place, which unfortunately we lost Frederick Follestad from this race, but Richard Schuterin is still running as well, but he is currently 4 laps down and 3 laps down on the Cadillac leader. As far as the Mustangs goes, it's still Kevin Parrish in the lead, with Oscar Seiling in 2nd. Patrick Bieri is in 3rd. Dan Rash, he's had a few trials and tribulations, but he's in 4th place at the moment. Randall Chenoweth in 5th. Antti Fajalo is in 6th place. Florian Unz is 7th, and Jesper Erzbach is 8th. And then the Mazda MX-5s, we won't forget our the cute little cars of the race, you could say. Jesper Pedersen in the lead of that one, with Mike Vanus in 2nd. Ahmed Yaman is in 3rd. Jarrett Lawson 4th. Nick Thiessen is in 5th. Tomas Akala is 6th. Mikael Minnis is 7th. Andrew Pinkerton is 8th. Andy Kirsch from the Radicals, I can't get that surname right, is 9th position.
Kirsch Torta.
Like
Andy
a torta.
K. Just call him
Andy K
or something.
That
stocking filler. Call him the stocking filler. It'd be fine.
Is that a resemblance to Santa Claus?
No, because he's always the driver that fills in for the Radicals when you know other people can't make it. So he's team manager and stocking filler extraordinaire, and he also helps Santa over Christmas.
Oh, he's helping people 365 days a year. What a man.
Yep.
And on our retirements, we've had the first retirement from the race is Casper Volker Jr., plus Emil Spindell, Daniel Lopez, James Wallace, JB Masida, Stefan Evergaard, Anthony Rosselli, Paul Van Mierlo, Fabian de Jong, Roop Tequila, Russell Gleisen, Fabio Gonzalez, And currently we have 36 running, and the last of our 36 cars going around in his Mustang is Antti Tuominen, who's currently 7 laps down. So there's a rundown of your classes. I know that with a long distance race like this, you like to know where all the drivers are, because we can't capture it all on the television cameras, unfortunately. There's so much going on. But the races seem to be now neutralising to an extent, Rob.
Yeah, it's a little bit. You actually slow down a touch, and just drivers spread out, you know, and they get to a little time in the race where they're sitting there thinking, oh, why did I sign up for this? Why did I put myself through this? But they're all professionals. They're all mentally prepared. Well, I hope they are. They're all mental for doing it. I mean, it's not the easiest track to drive in this layout at all. So, massive respect to all the drivers for turning up and committing the time to do it. Because, you know, it's not the easiest track in the world to drive around in any of its layouts, really. But this one is probably the toughest. And as we've done the run through for the race, we're doing the run through for the sponsors. We'd like to thank GlacierTV Designs, iRace in Denmark, GlacierTV. We'd like to thank Dan Blake for turning up today, helping me out. At least he turned up on time. I remember one of these races, no one turned up for the first 45 minutes. I was stuck by myself.
At least it wasn't this one. But the good thing is, Rob, we are past the halfway mark in this race.
Yay! Woo! And it's been an interesting first half. We've lost a lot of McLarens, which tends to happen with the faster cars. They tend to get themselves... Jarno would like to thank himself for falling asleep every 10 seconds while on camera. So if the camera doesn't quite pan with the car, just shout really loudly and tell Jarno to wake up. That'd be great. We've got 5 McLarens and 5 Caddies in the top 10. We've got an even split in the top 10, which is quite unusual. And then the first Mustang is P17. So the Caddy drivers they're showing they can hang. A lot of them are the top 6 are only allowed down halfway through the race. That's impressive in its own right, because the McLaren's a quick car.
They're certainly going some, and I've lost, unfortunately, in this first half of the race, we have lost some of the drivers who were probably destined to be near the top. We've lost Mo Spinder, we've lost Daniel Lopez,
Just a quick one. I'm just going to the burger stand down. I'll be just off the end of Hog Pen, probably getting myself, I don't know, some roast pork or something. I'll be back in 5.
I'm alright for now, but I've got a feast of racing to concentrate on. But Laurent Patel, I think Laurent Patel probably would be quite appreciative of a snack. He's leading this race by 8.6 seconds as we come back to an hour and a half of the Green Hell at Virginia International Raceway. Between the Neo Endurance Series, I'm Dan Blake, and somewhere around near the Hog Pen Burger Bar is Rob Cuss, and we're going to have some onboard footage. Someone has asked for onboard footage, and I do like a bit of onboard footage myself. It gives a bit of a insight into what these drivers are really going through. So we're looking forward to seeing a bit of onboard footage coming up very shortly here on GlacierTV. That battle for third place I was telling you about earlier between Aligo, Guez and Viekemans has all seemed to have it's gone a bit stale really, because Aligo has got a 3-second lead over Viekemans. Viekemans a further 3, but Aligo's in the 3rd, Guez 4th, and Viekemans in 5th place. But as we know, with the way the traffic works around here, even though we've lost a few cars, there's still 36 runners pounding around this track. So there's still a bit of traffic on the track, so the gaps can close up really quickly. Anders Dahl leads the Cadillac class still. Jean-Paul Nui in 2nd. Paul Ilbrink is in the 3rd position, and really the top 3 in this Cadillac class. They've put a stamp on their positions, particularly Anders Dahl. Jean-Paul Nui just coming out of the Snake, and Anders Dahl was already halfway down Madison Avenue, so Anders Dahl putting in a really dominant performance in the Cadillac class. I haven't looked at the Mustangs for a while, So Kevin Parrish, I'm looking at now in the Mustang class with, he's got Oscar Silence. There's not much actually between the leaders in the Mustang class, probably about 5 or 6 seconds, and we're currently looking on board with probably my tip so far for driver of the day, Anders Dahl. He's currently running 6th overall. He's coming down the downhill section now, coming up down towards. He's now coming up now towards the section. We're now going down 21. We're going down the. This is our final part of the lap. Just coming now around through 20 past the roller coaster. Very shortly, we'll give a little bit of a wave to Rob us at the Hog Pen Burger stand. I think pretty soon we're coming down that part of the track with Anders Dahl. Just coming. This is probably the hardest section of this Ground West track, in my opinion. Anyway, the last bit is quite technical already when you think about it. Here we are now through the Hog Pens. Now guide you through a lap on board of Anders Dahl. He's coming now down the start-finish straight to start his 37th lap in this race. So 37 laps, I think, is gone to his 37th lap now. Comes down, he's starting to go down the gears for the turn 1. That is the horseshoe. Around the horseshoe, the right-hander. A little bit of steering there as they come now down into number 3, turn 3, NASCAR bend, up towards the left hook, and we're now looking on board on the number 42 car, and that is the car of Joe Juez we're looking at now. So, and in fact, Joe Juez and Julian Aligo are side by side, and Julian Aligo just about holds the position. So we were going on board with Anders, but we've seen a bit more action on the racetrack between. We said that these two might get themselves back together again, and they have got back together again, Juez and Aligo. Aligo went a little bit wide there, trying to get past the Mazda, which has allowed Juez right back on his back bumper again. Kevin Viekemans is a further 9 seconds behind, and fresh from the burger bar is Rob Us.
I found out what Will Vincent does in his spare time. Flips burgers. Don't go for the double cheeseburger, it's not that great. The hot dog was good.
Oh, Kevin Viekemans, that's a bit closer. The back end switched out there, is coming across one of the Mazdas, and Kevin Viekemans, we can have another look at that. That was quite spectacular. Did well to hold on to that, and Kevin Viekemans running in 5th position, but could very nearly have ended up in the wall. Good driving there from Viekemans, and it just shows that we raced nearly an hour and a half, but Viekemans still had his wits about him there.
Yeah, definitely. He just passed another MX-5. He did well to get out of that. He must have had a few thoughts running through his, oh no, I've been racing for this long, don't let it end now, kind of thing. But that drove him really well. That caddy behind is fast, because it's sticking right with him.
And that is the car of Jean-Paul Nui. So it's our second place for that driver, and we were saying before that it's really on the corners where the McLaren gains its advantage over the Cadillac, because on the straight there's pretty much a parity between the two of them, especially when the Cadillac gets into the draft of the McLaren. But Jean-Paul Nui, despite the fact he's fast, he's not really got much to give to Anders Dahl at the moment, because Anders Dahl is pretty much, unless he comes across some hassle, which is not out of the question. We've seen a few cars get involved in trouble which is not of their own making, unfortunately, but the nature of the multi-class racing as it is, that's what happens sometimes. We got to think that Anders Dahl at the moment, if he keeps going the way he's going, is going to win this Cadillac race.
A bit early to call that, but yeah, I have to agree. It's got a lovely custom skin as I'm just tucking into the double cheeseburger that's average. Thanks, Will. Too much salt. Anders has run quite a nice custom Neo Green Hell paint scheme, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's a very nice paint scheme, the Green Hell, the special commemorative paint scheme. We see that in NASCAR sometimes, where they'll have the commemorative car designs for like Memorial Day and things like that. And we have a drive-through penalty for the bad boy himself, Gert Hagedorn. A dive bomb on lap 35 at turn 3 is going to see him come down the pits for a drive-through penalty. He's down in 13th position at the moment overall, but in actual fact he's 7th position in class. He heads down the pit lane now, so Gert's going to take his drive-through penalty now. I don't think he's going to lose too much as a result, because the next car was nearly a lap behind him. Going to take, it looks like he's going to take a pit. That's interesting. He's got a drive-through penalty, but he's stopped at his box. So it'll be interesting to see what race stewards think of that, because he's already had one penalty for not taking a penalty properly, and it's a drive-through penalty, Rob, but he stopped at his pit box.
So he's going to get another one then, isn't he?
He goes now from the... But he has got 3 laps to take his drive-through penalty, I believe, so maybe he's coming for a pit stop this time and will take his drive-through next time.
Possibly, but we'll keep an eye on that situation.
Looking at a battle for 3rd place between Julian Aligo and João Guez, and it seems like the Guez has lost a lot of time on this lap. They came across the line with about a second separating them, and now the traffic has played its part, and the gap really has stretched out between those two in the battle for 3rd position.
Yeah, it does. It seems definitely stretched out as navigating traffic. It's probably down to traffic again, just catching cars at the wrong point. So yeah, interesting.
Looking at the Mazda, I'm going to go have a quick look at our Mazda lead. We've got Jesper Pedersen, and where's Mike Denisen? Mike Denisen's quite a way behind Jesper Pedersen, but there's battle for 2nd place in the Mazdas, because Ahmed Jarman is right behind Mike Denisen, and Kevin Viekemans he's got a drive-through penalty for unjustifiable risk. Now, that could be related to that incident we were just talking about, where he very nearly caused a collision. There were 2 other cars from slower classes around him, and the race stewards took a very dim view to it. They've decided that it was unjustifiable risk, so a drive-through penalty for Kevin Viekemans, although I don't think it's really going to affect his race too badly.
No, he might lose position to Anders Dahl and stuff though, or allow Anders to catch up for P5 in the overall, but I don't think it'll affect his McLaren position.
The unjustifiable risk was it was a move on Andrew Pinkerton that we spoke about. So thank you very much, Race Control, for your messages. It's always nice to have a bit of transparency with a decision and to know what you're talking about. So we thank you very much for that. And I think on behalf of the racers, we'd like to thank Race Control as well, because it's not an easy task, but they're proving very much to be up to that today.
Sorry, Dan.
No worries, I'll let you munch away. Laurent Vettel,
but yeah,
still
no, I agree,
in the
they're doing a
lead.
great job.
He's on lap. In fact, it's coming into the pits. Our race leader, Laurent Vettel, pits from the lead. So he's decided now to be his 2nd pit stop of the day, and it's going to give Stefan Mugela the lead. Now it'll be interesting to see what Mugela can do. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him, but it's a lead. It'll be interesting to see how long he can keep it for, and if he can make an impression. But it's not really that much different to where they were rating them before, really. The only difference is Vettel's in pits, but if Vettel comes out in a train of cars like we've seen before, where drivers are coming to the pit lane and come out with traffic in front of them, that could close the gap a little bit. There's a couple of cars going past now, and over to Rob.
I agree. I don't think it'll close it that much, because Lawrence got the out-and-out speed, to be fair. And obviously the Virgil racing car of Stefan Mugela has got to make a pit stop. So, you know, he could come out in traffic. It works both ways. You can either get a great run and get, pick your pit stop lap right and go in without traffic, come out without traffic, but you're going to catch traffic eventually. There's like 40 odd cars circulating around this track, so they're going to get traffic. It just depends on the quick pit stop, and I think Lawrence known the RNX Racing boys, he's got a good strategy, so I don't think you're affected that much. I think he's still odds-on favourite for the victory.
Kevin Viekemans has been through to take his drive-through penalty, so Kevin Viekemans comes out in 5th position, because Anders Dahl is about 3/4 of a lap near enough behind even still, but it's a good run from Anders Dahl, running in 6th place, only a lap down on these McLarens, as we now about nearly an hour and 45 minutes. So we're coming up closely now to 1 hour left of this race. The pit cycles we're just now on a cycle of pit stops. Stefan Mujdar's not actually he's got quite a bit of traffic on this lap, so it's probably not going to help him. I can see at least 3 or 4 cars which he's gone past, and also in the battle for 3rd position, it's going to be quite interesting. We've got Joel Guez, who'll be coming into the pits this time round. I've heard it from the pit lane. Our pit lane reporter said there's going to be the pit stop for that number 42 car. So this is a battle which pit strategy could see maybe chase. There's only 3 seconds between the car of Liga in 3rd and Joel Guez in 4th.
Yeah, well, they're teammates, so they're probably on the same similar strategy. So expect to see the other one pit very shortly. As is that Laurent Battel coming up to the back door of Joel Guez as well? So it'll look to clear him. As soon as, he's going to drop it. Yeah, he's going to pull into pit lane. So Laurent Battel's going to go screaming past and regain another spot.
So that is Laurent Battel behind Joel Guez. They go past one of the Mazda MX-5s. That's number 28. That is well out of the way. The car of Mikael Menes. He doesn't want to hold them up. He doesn't want to be involved in any incidents. He just lets them through and gets on with his race. Mikael Menes, who currently finds himself in 9th place in the MX-5 field, as predicted. Joel Guez does come down the pit lane, and is that also? No, I thought Stefan Mujlar was in the pits, but he's not. It's Stefan Mujlar currently our race leader, with Laurent Battel
and your guys. Julian Ligigo's in as well.
Yeah, I thought I saw that car in the pits. It was a car of Julian Ligigo. So, as you said, the 2 teammates are on exactly the same strategy.
Yeah, it looks like Julian Ligigo's got damage to his rear wing. So I don't know whether he's had a contact at some point or done something, but he's got a small bit of damage on his rear wing.
That'll be something that we got to monitor later on in the race, but we'll give you a rundown of the classes again. I know I'm doing this quite regularly, but just in case you haven't got the timing or in the race, just let you know what's going on. We've got Stefan Mujlar leading in the McLaren class on overall. 2nd place is Laurent Battel, and 3rd place is Julian Ligo. Kevin Vikerman's is in 4th position. He's taken a drive-through penalty, but I don't think he's actually been in the pits yet, so that is an artificial 4th place for him. Joel Guez is in 5th. In 6th place in the McLarens, you have Aaron DeLong, who's 2 laps down, but he's persevering with it. We have the car of Gert Huisdorn, Mr. Naughty, really. He's been quite a few lines on chalkboards, I think, at the moment. So, in 7th place. 8th place in the McLaren class is the car of Edmund Vos. And that is the only 8 McLarens we are currently running. In the Cadillacs, Anders Dahl, rather dominant in this first hour and 45 minutes. He leads from Jan-Paul Nias. We've got Paul Ilbrink from the Radicals in 3rd, Rasmus Larsen in 4th, John Hall 5th, Doljan Bodring in 6th, with Richard Shooter in 7th. And they're the only 7 drivers who are currently running.
Andy Kirschner is just disconnected, so I don't know if he's had an off.
The leader of the Radicals in trouble. We'll have to see what's happened there to Andy. I'll just have a quick look now, and Andy stopped on the pits in the back straight. So that's rather bizarre.
1 second. I'm just going watching it. It's on lap 34. Comes up to Oak Tree, goes through the left-hander, comes up to Oak Tree, and then goes into Oak Tree and runs out wide, and then I don't know, just pulls it off. Had enough, retires, I guess.
So that's quite disappointing for Andy Kirschtor, who was running in the top 10 in the Mazda race, but his day has come to an end, and he adds to the list of retirements.
I'll try and find out.
I might even let you interview him if you want.
That's it. So he's about. He might not want to be interviewed. I'll just ask. while I wait to find that out, what else we got going on the track? We must have a car going left or right somewhere.
Yeah, there's quite a few that good.
He ran out of fuel. Andy K run out of fuel. Wow, because the spotter didn't work. That is, that's the latest to what I have.
Very unfortunate there. I mean, something as small as having the spotter not work, it just shows it can affect your race. Some of these drivers have been taking advantage of the latest iRacing technology. Probably have human crew chiefs, which is something which has been brought out in anticipation for something I'm really looking forward to, which is the team racing.
Driver swaps.
Oh
team
yes.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm looking forward to that as well.
But we don't want to give these organisers silly ideas like the 24 hours of greenhouse, of course, because that really would be a test of endurance.
Exactly. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
I expect Will Vincent will commentate every one of the 24 hours.
Yeah, he probably would give it. If he had about 8 bottles of vodka with him, it'd be quite funny towards the end, I would have thought.
We're looking at a battle for 4th and 5th. That's just been changed because we've had a race control message saying that Julian Aligo, who is putting pressure on Kevin Beekman, on Joel Guez, has got a penalty for avoidable contact. That's very, very unfortunate there. The battle for 4th place for now is going to be tamed down because the car of Julian Aligo, number 89, has been given a black flag for avoidable contact. So these McLaren drivers not being as careful maybe as race control would like at times.
Definitely not, it seems. But you get that. You get the guys that, you know, they do race series. They see a race that they want to do, and they train. You know, they work hard to get here. They work hard to pre-qualify. They may be fast, and they instead of practicing race runs in practice servers, you know, they decide to hot lap and work on qualifying. Whereas with endurance racing, as long as you make the grid, it don't really matter. You know, you're in the race, so you know, as long as you pre-qualify and make it in, you're good. Work on your race runs, work on traffic, work on that sort of stuff, rather than just hot lapping and trying to get the ultimate time. You know, because we see it in a lot of different series. You get people that are super fast, but they've got zero racecraft, which is a shame. If they worked on their racecraft, not only would they be fast, but they'll have a bit of common sense as well.
That is also the border between this being good and being alien. Quite a few of the extraterrestrial species on iRacing, and confirmation from race control that the 89 of Julian Aligo, this penalty was for avoidable contact with Maycon Mellis in the MX-5. So thank you very much, race control. Maycon Mellis was the driver who Aligo offended against.
Yeah, as you were alluding to, it separates the good drivers from great drivers. Basically, that racecraft. I mean, that's how it goes. You know, if you want to be great, if you want to be in the iRacing World Championship Series or the NASCAR, you've got to work on the racecraft. You know, it's all important. Or if you're a young driver, there's a lot of young racing drivers that aspire to be racing drivers that use this service. You know, and this is the ideal place to learn racecraft, because you ain't going to write off a 30 grand car.
And Julian Aligo has been black flagged for not serving a penalty correctly. So Julian Aligo has gone from bad to worse at the moment. He had one penalty, now he's got to take a second penalty. And also Stefan Mujla has been into the pit, and as a result Laurent Vettel has taken the lead back. So Laurent Vettel leads with Stefan Mujla in second, and just an extra confirmation from race control that Julian has got a black flag for not serving correctly. So not being able to take a penalty correctly is going to cost him even more time, and it could allow Kevin Beekman to pull away even further, because Kevin Viekemans himself is in the pits. He's in the pits now. In fact, he's taken tyres and fuel. Also taken a drive-through penalty, but with Aligo's coming second penalty for his discretion on the first one, or indiscretion rather, we'll see Viekemans probably move up into that 4th position.
Exactly, yeah. Bit crazy, really, but oh well. Racecraft comes back to that, Dan. What we were talking about, you learn about all these things.
Yeah, that's exactly the point we were making before about the racecraft. But we've got Laurent Battel now coming up to lap Anders Dahl. So our McLaren leader is lapping the Cadillac leader for a second time, and we've now been racing now for nearly 2 hours, 1 hour and 50 minutes, and he's only been lapped twice. So very, very good. Very good display from Anders Dahl. We've said that enough already today, and Laurent Battel really flinging that car around down 19 and 20 onto the, as they come now down towards it comes towards the twisty sections. Certainly not. He's certainly not given any.
Paul Ilbrink's out as well, I think. He's somewhere off the track and looks as though he's retired his Radicals car. I think he's lost it at Oak Tree. I'm just having a look now as he heads in, back end gets loose, goes on the grass and straight into the tyre barrier. He is done. Paul Ilbrink, you are done. So that's him out of the caddy race. So that's both Radicals caddies in the wall. Great.
Are there any Radical drivers left? We also saw the demise of Andy earlier, so is there any Radical drivers actually left in this race?
Anders Dahl's a Radical, he just doesn't know it yet. Laurent Battel, we've just stole off Inex, so yeah, we're leading both classes. Kevin Parrish is also a Radical, so that's 3 classes we're leading. And Jesper Pedersen is a Radical, so we're leading everything, it's fine, we're good. Oh no, that's us out of the race again. Boo hairs. Oh, I hate commentating on us because it's rubbish.
Rob Cuss playing Fantasy iRacing there. Bit of a similar. We also we talk about the iRacing Grand Prix World Series. There's a similar thing you can do with the Team Red Line, which is the World Championship drivers tipping, where you can pick your drivers who you think are going to do well in that. So it's something for you to do, Rob, if you want to do some Fantasy iRacing.
No, I just don't. We just need to pick drivers that don't crash or run out of fuel. You know what I mean?
Easier said than done.
Yeah, apparently so. Seems Inex. I think I'm gonna have to go and rob Inex or abduct Timo or something. So it's the way forward. Just do that. It'd be quite amusing. Abduct their leader and see how it works out for them.
You say that, but Inex Racing, really, they are one of the dominant forces at the moment as far as the GT racing scene goes in iRacing. We saw them last week clinch the Sim Teams Championship. They still got a round to go at Homestead, and they also their drivers going well in the Polar GT as well. Enzo Benito taking the first race before a very unsavoury incident took him out of race 2, but we don't really want to talk about that. But Team Inex really showing that when it comes to this GT3, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're good. They're a great team. I've got a lot of respect for those guys. They do it in the right way as well. Their drivers seem to have the right attitude to racing, and it's just a professional outfit. It's very, very good, and they seem to be strong everywhere, not just in the McLaren. They've got drivers who can drive everything. It's a good model for any aspiring team to look up to, really. Yeah, it's cool.
We spoke before about maybe how the battle would the front, and the gap's come down now to 3.2 seconds. The battle for the lead. So Laurent Battel might have a bit of pressure soon from Stefan Mugiar, and looks like we may have a driver interview as well in the next couple of minutes for you on GlacierTV.
I'll let you do this one, Dan, because it's my team manager from Radicals, so I can't really do the interview. It'd be a bit biased, wouldn't it?
Andy,
although he did run out of fuel, Muppet.
Andy, your greenhouse ended early for you. Up until you ran out of fuel, how was your race going?
It wasn't too bad, I guess, but yeah, the spotter just didn't do anything.
Sack him.
Well, it's a sort of stand-in spotter anyway. I mean, we did have a Rob Costa who was supposed to be spotting for me, but he chose to talk to all you guys instead.
Yeah, they paid me more.
No, it was a bit unfortunate really that the communications had gone down, and I was just in a groove going round, and the spotter just, well, didn't pipe up and say you're running low on fuel. So the first time I knew about it was going around the oak tree, and it beeped at me, and I looked and I got 0.1 left, so I wasn't going to make it round.
The Green Hell is a race that Neo have put on. Races like this, drivers like yourself must really relish these long distance endurance races, which test your concentration, they test your car. Yeah, is this the sort of race you enjoy racing?
Yeah, definitely, but particularly as a team. As a few have mentioned, it'd be really great when we've got the team function really working and we can have driver swaps. So that'll make a huge difference to the overall sort of length of races, and also I think concentration and teamwork as well, and that's what I'd like to focus on once that arrives.
Yeah, I think the team racing certainly will be something which I think a lot of people in our racing are looking forward to. We don't see it with the iRacing Grand Prix Series, a team championship, but would you like to see that it come to endurance racing, have a World Endurance Championship style team championship, where long distance races?
Yeah, definitely, but I don't know whether it needs to be managed necessarily as an official series. There's enough, really well managed leagues out there that could, be catered to that, like the one that we're involved in today. So I don't think necessarily it has to be an official series. It could be sanctioned by iRacing, maybe. Maybe they could have a inter-competition with a few different leagues to take on that responsibility on iRacing's behalf. That'd be fun.
Just a quick one, Andy. I don't know if you're probably quite hungry after racing. Will Vincent is actually working on a burger stand just down at Oak Tree, so you can walk back up there and grab yourself a hot dog, or don't get the double cheeseburger. Wasn't that great?
Ah, fair enough.
So that is also, Andy. Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to win the classes after what you've seen so far in the opening 2 hours of this race?
I don't think it's going to be a radical driver.
Well, yeah, didn't I tell you we've stolen Lauren off INX Racing? It was a deal done with Timu for a packet of crisps and a Kit Kat. Kevin Parry. I can't do it anymore.
It has actually been quite unfortunate for us. I mean, AJ Rosales came to start the race, and it wouldn't let him join first of all. And he wouldn't let him change his fuel from the qualifying amount of fuel, so he had to leave the server and come back, and of course missed the start. And then when he did get to start, he still couldn't change the fuel, which is why he did a lap, came in the pits, and then filled up with fuel and off he went. So it wasn't a very good start for one of us straight away, and then there's been a few interesting moments.
Yeah, we saw you on the whole though. Do you think the driving standards
Paul
have been
Ilbrink
good?
is back out on track just to allude. We have a radical. Woo!
I was just saying, Andy, what do you think of the driving standards have been, considering the speed differential of the classes and the fact that it's been such a long race and maybe people are a bit more or less alert than they were to start with, but I think on the whole driving standards have been quite good so far.
Yeah, the driving standards on the whole have been very good. I mean, you've got to take into consideration you've got 4 different classes that the officials have changed or tweaked somewhat to add either extra weight to the car or limiting the fuel. But you've still got quite a huge speed differential between the two, or between sort of bottom 2 and the top 2. So it's quite tricky on track to know when a car's going to have room to get by or not. So but I think overall the standard's been good.
Thank you very much for your time, Andy, and hopefully better luck for you next time.
Thanks so much.
Well done, stocking filler. Unlucky, buddy.
I feel like more of a fly. sort of one of those flies on the wall that just happen to sort of get swatted.
While we were speaking to Andy, Stefan Mujla has taken the lead. Yeah, he has. Stefan Mujla has taken the lead. We've got Laurent Patel in second place, and there's about 30 seconds then back to Joe Guez. Kevin Viekemans, as we predicted, has taken that
Hang on,
position.
no. Laurent Patel is in front on the track. I'm looking. The timing hasn't sorted itself out. Laurent Patel is leading. The INX car is in front of I've lost what team he runs for. I'm going mad. Virgil Racing or Scott Tracy Racing, Thunderbird Racing, FIB Scott. I don't know. Virgil Racing, I think it is. FIB Scott Tracy.
Laurent Patel is just coming down onto the straight now, and Stefan Mujla isn't far behind. So I think maybe something's happened to Laurent Patel. We'll have to go and have a look through that. I'll tell you what, Rob. You find something interesting to look at. I'll have a look and see if I can shed some light on this Laurent Patel situation.
Yeah, I was watching a replay. I'm a bit dumb. Sorry, dunce hat goes on Rob. For some reason, I was on a replay. But yeah, something else happened. Laurent, I wonder if he ran out of fuel. I wonder if he shot on fuel or something. We're after us. I wonder if his team manager is still in chat.
Laurent Patel has been down to pit road on lap 48. He came down to pit road for a pit stop. So Laurent Patel has actually been into the pits. That's what's happened to Patel.
8.2 second pit stop apparently as well. That's quite quick from the INX boys.
We have seen before though Patel on a bit of a different strategy to the rest of the other drivers, where he's been coming in a lot earlier. So maybe it's just a normal scheduled stop for Laurent Patel, an F1 style pit stop, says Jarno Matikainen. So
yeah, who's fantastic on cameras. Thank you very much. But maybe his mothership called him, because to be fair, Laurent's a bit of an alien. You know, maybe he had to download some new software or something. You know, a little bit of an uplink. Apparently, INX Racing don't get locked in the basement. They get locked in a cube because they are the Borg. They actually exist. The Borg are real. It is INX Racing. They are. They will assimilate everyone.
Look,
Dan Blake's quiet because he's laughing.
I'm gonna have a quick rundown of the order. It's Stefan Mujla leading. In second place, Laurent Patel. Third is Joel Guez. Fourth is Kevin Viekemans, with Julian Aligo in fifth. We've got Anders Dahl, who's a leader of the Cadillacs, sixth overall. Seventh is John Paul Nuhi, who is in seventh position and second in the Cadillacs. We've got John Hall in third position in the Cadillacs, eighth overall. Ninth is Rasmus Larsen, who's fourth in the Cadillacs overall, and in 10th position into the top 10 is Aaron DeLong in the McLaren. He's 2 laps down, but to be fair to him, he's kept on track. But we're now looking at the battle, second place in the Mustangs. You've got Dan Rash, who we spoke about earlier on, and Oscar Salin in the heat of battle. So which way do you think this is going to go then, Rob?
Ooh, who knows? Dan Rash we've seen his car go off a couple of times, so he might be subject to a couple of mistakes in that Black Rebels car, Oscar Salin. You know, the Black Rebels, quite a big racing team. You know, maybe he's been training, maybe he's had some coaching from some of the other drivers, zoned in and focused. I haven't seen him or heard of him being off the road either in this race. He's just been kind of cruising around, so I don't know.
They don't want to hold each other up too.
No, they don't. But
Patrick Bieri right behind them, so this could turn into a bit of a triple threat contest in a very short while, depending on what happens. That is just what we'd like to see. So, come on, boys, let's get ready to rumble.
Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. You're rubbish. You didn't even do the pit. You're not old enough to remember 5, are you?
Just about. I'm just
5.
about old enough.
You know what I mean. The Muppets that are on Saturday TV.
Out on deck.
And that's the one. my brain stopped working as usual.
I've seen Saturday Night Takeaway a few times.
Yeah, I don't bother with that. Yeah, so hopefully this turns into a battle. Back to the racing and not the disparity of... Kevin Parrish has just been in the pit, so this could become... just caught him coming out of pit road, so... I wonder if that'll allow these guys to catch up and maybe we can have a massive battle. Woo! A war even.
That would be rather entertaining, but at the moment we got a battle between Dan Rash and Oscar Silent. We're on lap number 44. Those two. We're coming down into Horseshoe now. Rash doesn't have to go defensive because Silent is still knows. They've still got about 35 minutes. Well, we've had 2 hours and 6 minutes of this 2 hour and 45 race. So that's 2 hours and 39 minutes. Well, 2 hours, 39 minutes.
Oh, Rash gets all kinds of loose going through that left-hander. Big black stripes from his rear wheels. Left on the road, and there's a caddy lurking like a ninja in the shadows behind them.
There is indeed, and that caddy is the car. That is the car of... I've lost them now.
Yes, have I, don't worry.
Yeah, it's the caddy that's gone past, so that's the main thing. There was not much time
Oh,
lost.
that was Jean Baldwin in that rather
Dojan
fetching
Baldwin,
silver
so
orange.
he's running 5th in class at the moment, but Paul Ilbrink's back on track. He's also on the same lap as Dojan, so be interesting. Well, there's quite a bit between them actually, but back to what we were looking at, which is this battle in the Mustangs. It's Dan Rash, Oscar Silent, and Patrick Bieri lurking in the shadows, you could say. He's a few seconds back, but he's close enough where if one of these go off the track that he could capitalise, and Silent just goes out to the right there, just let Rash know, I'm there, I want to be going past you. And just to add a little bit more spice,
Anders Dahl's behind them. Yeah,
Yes.
Anders Dahl is lurking like a shark in the
goes
ocean.
past
As he
Silent.
gobbles up one. And look how smart that is. He's just chilling, waiting for a move. Ooh, gets it all a little bit loose. He's trying to get the drive out of the corner to go past on the inside. Now that is how
Very
to
well
overtake a slower car. Yeah, perfect. Couldn't
That is a
ask for
lesson.
He hit the curb really hard though. Almost lost it going into that section, but
There's someone who had that first of all, that they overtake of Dojan Baldwin has in fact lost it. I saw him resting against the wall. He's just slowly coming back out now, but that number 8 car has had a bit of a off-track moment. But as we were saying, that is how you do it, kids and grown adults, iRacers of all ages. You have just seen there how to overtake in multi-class. So thank you very much, Anders Dahl. That just shows that's the sort of drive he's had.
Overtaking 101 by Anders Dahl. You have passed. Congratulations, 1 gold star.
Might get a gold trophy at the end of this race, well, a virtual one maybe. Dan Rash and Oscar Silent fighting for second place. They want place on the podium, but Patrick Bieri is still not far behind. So anything happens with these two, we'll be in prime position.
Wow, they've got some company now as well with a McLaren just up behind them. And
Kevin Beekermans, I think. No, there's Kevin Beekermans down the inside of them. That's a good move as well. He decided what he was going to do. Left plenty of room there, so good driving as well by the McLaren driver. And that's that Cadillac of number 8, who they've already let pass once. Who decided his race might have got a bit when I want to try and overtake these Mustangs again. So he's going to try and overtake them again. But this
headlights are blazing.
Ideally,
why don't we have blinkers? We want little blinkers for the headlights. iRacing, if you're listening, headlight blinkers for the multi-class racing to give it a bit of a ding 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 ding. I'm coming through.
And that is a feature suggestion from Rob Cuss.
It's good.
But these two, Ash and Silent, despite the fact they've had 2 hours and 10 minutes, they both drive Dan Rash the track a couple of times. You saw Oscar Silent earlier have a indiscretion or two, but they're running 2nd and 3rd in class. So considering they're doing a very good job at the moment.
Yeah, it's awesome racing this far in. You know, it's fantastic to be honest. They're that close together after such a long time. Just shows the depth of talent that is in this field, and it's all to play for. It's still all to play for in this race. I think we've got half an hour left. Is that right? My timing
Coming
seems
up
to be a
to
bit
that,
screwed.
yeah. That we soon will be able to talk about the closing stages of this race. It doesn't feel like it's been 2 hours and 15
32
minutes.
minutes. 32 minutes of the race clock remaining of this Virginia International Raceway Neo Green Hell on the Grand West layout, sponsored by Derek Spear Designs, iRacing Denmark, GlacierTV, and something else that I can't remember because I lost my page. Thank you to all the sponsors, and thank you to Dan Blake for being not so bad on the microphone. Not a bad step in, not a bad replacement for Will Vincent. I was waiting for George to make an appearance, but sadly he couldn't be with us because he's playing to Africa. From Africa, sorry, was delayed.
George, yeah, I've heard stories about our friend George. I expect he'll be one of the more colourful characters in our race, and if in case you haven't met him, George Wingo. But less about
I
George.
can't even pronounce his surname.
Nor can I. More about the racing is Laurent Batel, who's in second position. Stefan Mugler still hasn't pitted, so he's in the lead of this race. Laurent Batel second, Joel Guez is in third position, Kevin Beekman's fourth. Seems that really the top four positions in this McLaren race. It's like I was watching the Blancpain Endurance Series before we came on air today, and the race was quite similar to this one. Really, it was a 3-hour race, and the trend is the same.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, a bit of a trend really.
10 minutes from my house, my friend. 10 minutes, Silverstone is. Well, 20 minutes. 10 miles.
The field started drawing out a bit, but anyone can still make a mistake and change. Especially now in the later stages of the race, one mistake you can put yourself into the wall, and all the hard work you've done in the last 2 hours and 15 minutes can mean absolutely nothing. That is the sort of pressure these drivers are putting themselves under by racing this race.
And we have 30 minutes remaining. 30 minutes remaining, drivers. 30 minutes. We are down to a sprint race towards the end now. And Stefan Mugler, there's a 30-second gap on Laurent Batel. Did we ever find out?
Laurent Batel pitted, and Stefan hasn't pitted yet. But if you remember, Laurent Batel seems to have pitted a lot earlier. He seems to have pitted a lot earlier.
Has he got enough fuel to go to the end? Will he overtake Stefan Mugler when he pits? Is the gap big enough or small enough? Who knows?
This race, thinking about it, this race could just have a whole new dimension, because when Stefan Mugler makes that journey down pit road, he's not going to have to take as much fuel, because the race is getting it's getting smaller by the minute, and it has been right since we started. But in terms of a fuel strategy, it means that
some say this race has been getting shorter since it started. Brilliant.
But it means that Stefan is going to have to take maybe less fuel than he would on a fuel run. So,
well, Timu, Laurent was only in the pits for 8.2 seconds.
So Stefan might even have to go in the pits for even shorter. So 30 seconds. We could actually have a thrilling conclusion to this race.
Indeed, we could. It could be amazing. Paul Imbrink is only about 30 seconds behind Dujan Baldwin, and he's just gone off the road as I said that as I'm watching him. So he was looking to close down. He's fighting hard. One of the guys that binned his car into the wall, and it's gone from there. So, as
Paul Imbrink from the Radicals, he currently, despite his moment, is actually still sick in the Cadillac class. So, and we saw earlier that Budrin had a moment himself. So Paul Imbrink, if he can, we'll see what happens in this next 30 minutes or so.
He's just got it all kinds of sideways. Let's go to the Mustangs. Let's have a look at the Mustangs. See what's going on there. Looking at Kevin Parrish.
Dan Rash and Oscar Silence still at it, as they were when we left about 5-10 minutes ago. So
yeah, let's go to the MX-5s. What's going on the MX-5s?
Jesper Pedersen is leading that class. We have
Ooh,
Ahmed Yamin.
Tommaso Carla is not far back from Ahmed Yamin. He is currently maybe, although the cars look really slow as the caddy goes past. So there's what, 10 car lengths between them. So this
It's
could
very
develop.
close, Rob. So do you actually have a couple of battles on the track in different classes? We have this MX-5 battle, and also we have that Mustang battle between Dan Rash and car of Oscar Silent. But we're looking at this battle at the moment, but second place in the Mazdas between Ahmed Yam and Tommaso Carlo, and it really does show the level of competition. I've been in a few official races recently, and you see after 20 laps some
Do you
drivers.
race? Really? Never seen you on a racetrack.
I do race occasionally, and the Brito GT or the GT Challenge. I've got a bit of the Ford GT at the moment, but some races you see classes separated by 40, 50 seconds, even when it's a short distant race. So the fact that these guys have been racing for well over 2 hours now and are separated by such small margins, it just shows that it's a very, very close level of competition here in the Neo Endurance Series.
Yeah, it's a great series, and if you want to get involved, all you have to do is look in the iRacing forums for the Neo, and I believe they have their own website. I think it's Neo Endurance. Then it gives you a bit more information. The races are open. You can sign up. You have to pre-qualify, and if you get in through pre-qualification, then well done to you. If you don't, then you have to try harder for the next one. But these are open races, so if you fancy it and you're watching and you're commentating and you think, I could do better than that guy, well, get in your race suit, strap in, get hold of your wheel, and prove it.
And if you're watching this race and think, I can commentate better than Dan Blake, send an email off to GlacierTV, and we might even get a trial of the commentary. We're always looking for new commentators here on GlacierTV. Of course, we're a non-profit organisation, so we always would like to see new commentators at GlacierTV. So if you're interested in commentary,
yeah, I'm not very good.
No, am I really, to be fair, but we get by. But if you're interested in commentary, or Jarno and Yoni at GlacierTV will be more than happy to hear from you.
Exactly. Anyway, let's see what is going on the track. Which battle should we go to first? Let's check in on that Dan Rash Oscar Sarling battle. And they are still a car's width apart. Car length apart, even. So they're no.
It's almost like sorry to interrupt, but it's almost like at the last pit stop, Dan and Oscar had a little conversation, and it's almost like he's towing them across the track with an invisible tow rope. They've been that close for the last half an hour or so, really.
Yeah, and we have been on board with Tommaso Carla, who is chasing down Ahmed Yamin in the MX-5s. We've been on board on the stream. I didn't realise, so apologies, guys. But this is actually a live battle for P2 in the MX-5 category.
We also have news penalty, which is be coming up very, very shortly for one of our McLaren drivers as well.
Which one is it this time?
It's not Mr. Naughty himself, number 45, Gert Hadjon, for a change. In fact, it's the...
Quick, buy a lottery ticket.
It's the guy who he's actually racing with for position. And that is the number 33 of Edwin Bose. So Edwin Bose is about to find himself going for a penalty. We've yet to see if it's a black flag or a drive-through, but that's for contact with Nick Teason in the Mazda MX-5. So contact between those two, and it's the number 33 of Edwin Bose who's been deemed the guilty party. So thank you, Race Control, for that, but we should shortly see the number 33 having some sort of a disciplinary.
This battle is epic between these two, between car 82 of Ahmed Yamin and car 3 of Tommaso Carla in the MX-5s, as
there's a slow MX.
Next to the inside, he's going to go 3 wide, and there's a McLaren hooning in on the brakes behind them. It's all going off in the closing stages of the race is the McLarens. That is our race leader, followed by our P2 as they go hooning past. So that is both battles on screen at the same time for the race lead and the MX5 class lead.
Well, there's a car off.
And it's crazy. And there's a car. Who was that? That's another McLaren. That's one of the that's either the Euro.
Yeah, car of Edmund Bose was the one which was we saw there, but also we got battle for second. This battle in the MX5 is really heating up, and at the moment Stefan Mugler hasn't pitted but we're looking at this Mazda battle. This is fantastic stuff as they go up the twisty stuff up towards Oak Tree Corner. It's Ahmed Yaman trying his best to try and fight off Tomas Sakala, but Tomas Sakala he's clawed him in. He wasn't this far. He's clawed him in, and now he's going to try and make the move. We're coming now. We've got 25 minutes left of this race, and it's a sliding. The number 82 slides down, and this could be the only advantage that Tomas Sakala needs. It's an open door for him, and he's going down the inside of Madison Avenue, and you've got to think that this should be a change for second position because Tomas Sakala has got the inside line there.
That battle for P1, the overall, actually wasn't a battle for P1. It looked like the same car that was leading, but it wasn't. It was traffic, I think, because I just clicked on Stefan and he's like half a lap ahead still. We've got 25 seconds ahead, and Lauren has gone past the yellow car. Damn you for having close looking cars. Boo.
And we've still that move at Madison Avenue been made by Tomas Sakala, one of the overtaken spots, and Wheelbrink in the Cadillac is just going to go past them now. And there's also the number 31 McLaren of Aaron DeLong, who's moved himself up into 9th position. But the MX5 battle is not over yet because Ahmed Yaman is not taking no for an answer. He goes a little bit wide again, but it was his initial mistake getting the back end out in Oak Tree which caused his demise into 3rd place, Rob.
Yep. Easy to make mistakes when you're under pressure, and Tommaso was putting the pressure on really a lot, and he made a mistake, and now he's got a McLaren trying to go through it, and we got further on, we got Kevin Venkmans and Joel Gee. Is it Gees or G's or G's? Going at it through the tight twisty section of the McLarens.
This is a battle for the last step on the podium. So Kevin Veekemans
and
Joel Goose, we've got about 20 minutes to go. So these two have got 20 minutes to sort this out. And Veekemans, they both had rather interesting races. Veekemans has had a penalty, so he's done well to come back from penalties to take the 3rd position. We've got Geese in 4th position. Maligo's in 5th, but our main attentions now is this battle. We got 3 battles, which so towards the end of the race, it's all starting to close up again. We had that little lull in the middle for half an hour or so where there was a few battles. Now it's more of a sense of urgency. We come right to the end of the race, and Veekemans were a little bit wide there, and Guez tried to put the nose in, but thought of it. Depending on what happens in this first half of a lap, you got to think maybe, Rob, that he's going to try and set him up for a move down the straight into the down at Madison down to turn 13.
Exactly. He's going to be looking for that move for sure. The racing's great. It's fantastic everywhere. It's getting to that crunch time where drivers are going at it and really want to like put themselves in the frame for the top 3.
You know, you were talking earlier about racecraft and I was learning things. Can you guess what I've just had through from race control?
Maybe a warning for our favourite McLaren driver.
Not quite. The number 33 has got to make another trip on pit road because he didn't serve a black flag properly.
What? What is it with people, right? How hard is it? Just hear me out. You're driving your car, you get a message from race control that says you have a drive-through or a stop and go, right? A stop and go is quite simple. You drive in, you stop, and then you go and you drive out, right? That's that one explained. A drive-through penalty is you go into the pit lane, you drive through the pit lane and out the other side, and that's your penalty served. It's not difficult, folks. What you can't do, however, is pit when you serve the penalties. And I reckon, and this is what these guys are doing, they're coming, oh, I've got to go in the pit lane anyway, let's fill up with fuel. You can't do that, because that's not serving your penalty.
And those are words of wisdom from Mr. Rob Cuss, free of charge.
There you go. You are enlightened, viewers, enlightened.
Who says GlacierTV was not an educational experience? But this battle for third
Exactly.
could be a rather educational experience as well, because Kevin Beekerman's, he's got a Mustang and a Cadillac, and that's, I think he may have lost a bit of momentum, because the car of Joe Guber seems right on the rear end of that car, and as you go down the inside, this is going to be, they're nearly 3 wide, and
They go side by side.
And side by
They
side.
are side by side.
They literally are side by side, but Kevin Beekerman's does well. That could have ended in a much more messier way than it did, but no one was really affected there. But I thought for a second they were going to go 3 wide and there would be carnage, but these drivers did very, very well to avoid that. But that just shows that we've had 2.5 hours of racing there. We're now down to the last 15 minutes.
That was
soon.
the MX-5 battle 2 and 3 that they've just gone past, to be fair. So crazy. It's go time apparently. The action is coming back.
Ding ding ding.
Exactly. Let's while we're at it, let's go and go. We'd like to thank all our sponsors. We'd like to thank Derek Spear Designs, iRacing Denmark, GlacierTV, and iRacing itself for enabling us to drive these cars whenever we want.
We were looking at those Mustangs earlier, and Patrick Bieri has found a way past Oscar Silence. So Patrick Bieri, the Diaz driver, has found himself now on the podium. He's in 3rd position, and Oscar Silence, how far behind? Maybe he's not too. I don't think he's pitted, or if he has pitted, it was a very, very short pit stop. But Oscar Silence has dropped the position, and there's not so much pressure on Dan Rash, but Patrick Bieri not far behind him really at all. So maybe in this last 20 minutes. We can see a chase.
Maybe in this last 20 minutes, exactly, it's going to be crazy. So we've got battles in the McLaren.
Each class.
As the MX-5, 2 and 3 going side by side with the Dan Rash right now. Wow, that's not the way to do it, boys. One of you just had to look back out the throttle a little bit, but they're all battling for position in class, so it's crazy. And they've got Anders Dahl coming up behind them. It's crazy.
We
We've
haven't
got battles in
spoken
McLaren for the podium. Who worries about Anders? He's out the front of his class. He's done. He's good. He's looking all right. Let's concentrate on the battle. Oh, although he's got tagged. He just got tagged by that Mustang. Anders
That
Dahl
is the car
on the right rear corner.
Patrick Bieri, the car who's battling with Rash. Patrick Bieri with a little bit of contact there with Anders Dahl. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think it would be severe enough for race control to give him a penalty, but a little bit of contact there, and a Mazda and the Mustang, it almost seemed there as if the Mazda had a bit more speed coming mid-corner, as you said before, Rob.
Corner speed, exactly. The Mazdas carry quite a good amount of corner speed compared with the Mustang. The Mustang's a handful round. It's an American muscle car. It likes going straight. It doesn't like going left or right very much. You watch the Mazdas on the brakes as well, they're so quick. You watch this little Mazda up the inside. He could have gone back up the inside. He got the corner speed on that one. Crazy. Anyway, just a quick one. Derek Spear has donated a button box to the Clean X driver. So what the drivers have to do is they have to race clean, and then they get put in a drawer, I believe. After the last event of the season, they win a button box, which is very nice of him. Apparently there was a Mazda that went into the wall at turn 2 or turn 3. I have no idea which car that was. I'm sure our spot will tell us shortly.
Yeah, it's a very good prize put up at Derek Spear Designs. A button box is because it's one of the it's not an essential item, but it certainly helps your cause. I know myself, I run iRacing off a laptop, and just having the F buttons, it can be quite confusing. So I'm trying to get my fuel set up and that, but So yeah, a Derek Smith designed button box is something which, if you do win that, I think you'll find quite useful, and it will definitely enhance your iRacing experience even more. So thank you for putting that up
and it also promotes clean racing, because if you want a chance of winning it, you can't have any incidents. You know, you've got to be the cleanest driver. So it's quite good. It's a good way of promoting clean racing. So thanks for that. We are coming down to the witching 12 minutes. There is just 12 minutes 10 seconds now left of this race as the battle's hot up for
this McLaren
P3.
battle. That McLaren battle, it's certainly not cooling down anytime soon. So I think the last 5-10 minutes we could see similar action to what we saw in the first 5-10 minutes. I think it's going to be fast, furious, and frantic, but only time will tell. But there's three main battles I think we're going to be concentrating on. And Anders Dahl has a drive-through penalty for avoidable contact, so a penalty there for Anders Dahl, but I don't think it's going to affect too much the final result in the Cadillacs.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Patrick Vieira's just come on the race radio, and I'm not sure if that was intentional or avoidable contact. Patrick Vieira may have been sticking up for his fellow driver then. The race control made a decision. Anders Dahl's in the pits. He's doing his drive-through. He's driving through the pit lane and then accelerating out. And that was a textbook drive-through penalty.
And going across the grass there, there's Jacques Hess. I think he probably would have had a slowdown for that. They were just coming through 7 and 8, the climbing S's section, and he just seemed to go across the grass, lost him time, and Kevin Wiekeman can breathe a sigh of relief. And we did actually see that. I saw that incident on the screen between Anders Dahl and Patrick Vieira, and race control have said they've given the same penalties for others for the same move, so they need to be consistent for the race stewards, and I think that is important. You need transparency and consistency. We've seen
definitely. No, I agree. I was just wondering whether Patrick Vieira was saying over the radio that it was like, no, sorry, whatever. You know, might have been a slight mistake. He may have lifted. You know, he was just defending Anders a little bit and saying it's not all his fault. You know, that's all I was saying. I wasn't disagreeing with it. I mean, race control is race control. They control the race. That's what they're there for. So they're consistent. I'll give them that for sure. They're very good.
Yeah, if that is the case, and that's a very sportsmanlike thing for Patrick Vieira to do.
Exactly, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, if he was, because I don't hear it. I don't hear the race chatter. I've got my sound turned off, so I can listen to Dan and other people.
I know. I don't quite sound as nice as a race engine, but it's a thought that counts. But Stefan Mueller...
I wonder how Will's doing on his burger stand at Oak Tree. Oh, we're under 10 minutes. 9
and
minutes,
also, this could be a master stroke, because Stefan Mueller still hasn't pitted, and he has a 26-second lead over... he's got a 26-second lead over Laurent Patel. So Laurent Patel...
Veckmans hasn't pitted either. According to the timing, Mueller and Veckmans have not pitted. They are still on one stop. So they've done a one-stop strategy. Can you make it to the end of one stop? And Laurent Patel has gone for a two-stop strategy. Who knows?
This really could be interesting, because the INEX driver Laurent Patel...
Oh, it just reset. Sorry, yeah, my timing just reset. It's actually 2 and 3. So 2 stops for Stefan Mueller and Laurent Patel 3 stops.
Yeah, but we saw that Laurent Patel early in the race was we thought he was home and try this, but Stefan Mueller has mainly pulled a tactical stroke out of the toolbox as such. If he's going to get himself,
so you think he's pulled a tactical rabbit out of the hat, a tactical hammer out of the toolbox, or he's pulled out the pit stop strategy book off the shelf.
The Ross Brawn Guide to Strategy. That's what he's got.
Exactly.
And it's put him...
Ross Brawn as his strategist, because he has got a weekend off. You know, maybe he's employed Ross. Who knows?
That would be a rather turn up for the books. At the moment, he has got race control said Patrick did not complain about the call, so we don't know what the radio message is. As Rob said, I also have my sound on mute because I don't think I could cope car noises and voices through my headset, but at the same time there'll be 3 different voices. But the battle for 3rd place, we'll have a quick look at that, and Kevin Viekemans and Joe Guez are still racing, and has there been a change of position there? Yes, there has. Kevin Viekemans has had enough, and Kevin Viekemans is in trouble, it looks like. With that rear end of that car, he's going very slowly, so something's happened there in that battle for 3rd, and Joe Guez has taken it from Kevin Viekemans.
Joel Guez has rear-ended Kevin Viekemans. That is what has happened, so expect, well, knowing our race stewards and how good and consistent they are, I would hazard a guess that someone's going to get a penalty, and that could be reversed. So we shall see. The question is, can he keep it on its wheels and keep it on the tarmac in between the white lines for the remaining 6 minutes without any others catching him if they do reverse his positions with that damage? That'll be the question.
They're going to have to be quicker given this penalty, because as you said, it's very, very late on in the race. Unless we see the F1 style message will be investigated after the race, but from the way it's been put to me, I don't think it needs to be Inspector Gadget to realise what's happened.
Venton's car looks horrific to drive right now. He's got some, doesn't look the easiest, shall we say, as they complete lap 63 now. 63 laps, that's crazy.
I was having a look through that Mustang battle, and Dan Rash for 2nd place has pulled out from Chip Bieri, so it looks like that is near enough set as well for the Mustangs. The battle, and we got a race control message to say, what's this going to say? It's a black flag for the car of Joe Guez. So Joe Guez has got a black flag for that contact with Kevin Viekemans, as predicted by Rob Cuss.
Black flag. Yeah, that'll be a stop and. Was it a stop and go or a drive through? Whichever, I think he's going to lose his position.
Kevin Viekemans is really struggling out there, though. I think it's going to have to be.
His car looks trashed. He's got issues with that car. It is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. He has 5 minutes left to wheel this car. So that at this track, that is 2 minutes, 2 laps.
Also, away from our view, we have lost Jean-Paul Neres, who was running 2nd in the Cadillac class, because John Hall was now in 2nd place. Rasmus Larsson's in 3rd. So we've lost Jean-Paul Neres.
Yeah, he's not currently circulating the track, so
how frustrating! You've raced for 2 hours and 37. The black flag is a stop and go for Joel Guez. So it's going to be a stop and go penalty for the number 42, and I wonder if race control will make him stop until Kevin Viekemans can come past him, because Kevin Viekemans now just coming down the home stretch now, so what, 6 minutes to go. So the penalty is going to be taken now by Joe Guez. He's in the pit lane. Viekemans has gone past him already.
Crazy times. And
that battle, yeah. I was just gonna.
Dan's rapping again.
Jean-Paul Nui lost control of the car and hit a tyre wall. So really bad luck.
So we reckon it was one of the Virginia grass snakes.
I hear it's the Virginia sloth myself. They can be quite mischievous creatures, those sloths. But less about the sloths and more about the racing. Tommaso Cala has pulled away from Amajaman after overtaking him a few laps ago. So it looks like that battle has. It looks like all 3 of our battles we were looking at before have neutralised. So they didn't threaten to give us some excitement, and to an extent there was some excitement, but probably not the sort of excitement Kevin Viekemans was after being punted. But Stefan Mugela, what a fantastic strategy call, you got to say, Rob. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really... so it looks like Team Inex will be beaten in the McLaren.
which is a turn up for the books, but it's a great drive. If he's got the fuel, we'll certainly find out. He's taken a few risks. Up in traffic, round the outside of a Mustang, then up
In
the inside
between
of an MX-5.
Yeah, he's gone 3 wide.
Yeah, that was, if I'm honest, a bit silly, because he's got a 30-second gap. Why would you do that? Why you have to make the pass? It's just a race. He has to. I don't know why you do that. Why take the risk?
That was a 2-second appearance from Liam Jenkins, but yeah, as we said, that was unjustified. I would say that was quite an unjustifiable risk, really, unless he knows he has to come in for pits.
Well, he could lose the race. Yeah, but he could lose the race lead. That's mental. Why would you try and do that? I can't get that.
I'll tell you what, Rob.
30-second lead.
If he comes for an interview after, you ask him that question, then you can find out.
Yeah.
But Stefan Mujla now, he's probably going to be coming on to start his last lap pretty soon. He's now gone down through turns, gone through 17, 18, 19, so coming down to the final part of the lap. He's coming around the last lap. The next lap will be his last lap, as he soon comes past we'll soon be seeing our past colleague Will Vincent at his burger bar. Rob Cuss had a very indifferent burger here earlier. I've not had a taste of this delicacies yet.
Well, I'll buy you a beer there after the race.
But Stefan Mujla now coming around to start his last lap, and it does look like that his fuel strategy is going to win him the race. It's definitely one from the Ross Brawn book of strategy. Laurent Patel has got 28 seconds to catch. Laurent Patel, he probably thought he'd done enough to win this race, but the strategy it's interesting to hear from the drivers why they went for their strategies, and it looks like Team Inex have been outthought, which is something I wouldn't have thought.
Outfoxed by Virgil Racing. Oh no, it's Virgil Racing, isn't it? They've got the help of the Thunderbirds. That's what it is.
Kevin Vikermans is going okay now. We said before that he might have had some trouble, but he seems to be running quite consistently now. So maybe it's just a case of having to get used to it. Said before, great strategy from Stefan Mujla. He's coming around now up the turn 7, 8 and 9 for his last time up to South Bend. He'll make that climb up towards Oak Tree Corner, which he makes now. So Stefan Mujla really is now on the second half of the lap, you could say, coming down Madison Avenue. It's been a fantastic drive for Mujla. It's not.
Great drive.
He hasn't made many mistakes.
He almost made one massive mistake there, didn't he? Going 3 wide with the Mustang and MX-5. That was a bit mental. So he's driving hard and he's driven brilliantly, but a bit odd to try and make that move when he's had such a big gap. So
we're going to have a drive-through penalty on this final lap as well
for Aaron
DeLong, who's running 7th overall for unnecessary risk.
Yeah, unnecessary risk. Let's see what Stefan Mujla comes up to an MX-5. Is he going to go around the outside? Oh, he almost got on the grass. See, that could have ended in the wall.
He's going around the twisty section now. Yeah, he's gone past him.
Doesn't like sitting behind traffic very much, does he?
Nor do I really, to be fair.
Yeah, I know, but really, last lap with a 35-second lead. Madness. That lead's just gone up by 6 seconds as well, which is a bit crazy.
But risks or not, he's coming around the final corner now, and the winner of the Virginia International Race with Green Hell in the McLaren class, the overall lead, will go to Stefan Mujla. Fantastic strategy, fantastic drive. He takes the victory. He will take the champagne. He'll take the girls. He'll take the lot. Fantastic victory. Second place looks set to be
Anders Dahl is coming across the line actually for the class win of the Cadillacs, giving it a little left and right wiggle as he crosses the line. What a great drive. Flag to flag drive by Anders Dahl in that class. Superior driving by that man. He is very talented as he slings it around. Gives it a big sideways drift. So we're looking for Kevin Parrish Well, I presume Lauren Battelle crossed the line. No, he's actually gone. Look at that timing. He's coming around the final corner now to take second overall and second in the McLaren cars for Team INX Racing. Your driver is Lauren Battelle. Crosses the line. Good drive. Outdone on strategy by the looks of it.
And
So,
Kevin
we
Parrish
are
is yet to cross the line yet as well.
Yeah, he's
And
still got a few corners. John
Joel
Hall's
Guez
still got a
has
few
been
corners.
black flagged as well after the race, it seems.
Yeah, dishing out penalties left, right and centre. Alright, so
But-
we're waiting for John Hall to cross the line. He's coming through a twisty bit. So Kevin Parrish coming round. Oh, he's got a few corners to go yet as well. Come on. Here he comes.
Just coming around the hog pen now is that Kevin Parrish take victory in the Mustang class. It's been the Mustang race was actually there's quite a few different leaders, but they all went by the wayside really, and it's Kevin Parrish
Massive well done.
who will
to
take
Kevin
that victory.
Parrish.
So Kevin
Great race.
Parrish
Where's our MX-5?
is the leader,
Oh,
and Jasper
there's
Pedersen
Jesper Pedersen just coming round the final corner as well.
he's near the end of that. Jasper Pedersen, so another
Not
one
quite
who's
yet,
really
nearly there.
Jasper Pedersen's another one.
What's that
from-
McLaren doing?
From the that's Kevin Vikerman's in the McLaren, but
Madness.
Jasper Pedersen has been to the Anders School of Domination, I think, because it's been very similar from Jasper Pedersen. I think he's, apart from the pit
Oh,
stops,
he's going to have that. Go on, do the Mustang. Have the Mustang. Oh, he almost had him through the corners there. That's how quick that MX-5 is. He's got that well set up. Good job by Jesper
It is a
Pedersen.
very good there
Very
from
well done. Yeah, it gives it a
Jasper
big
Pedersen.
flick. Jesper, whatever. He was quick.
So that is
Quicker than a
that's our
whisper in the
race.
night. That is it. That is our race.
Taking
Has
the
everyone crossed the
victory,
line?
yeah, we'll go through the results in full. Taking the victory was Stefan
Wegmans.
Mujla by 51 seconds nearly to Lauren Battelle. Third place, Kevin Vikermans. In fourth is Joel Guez. In fifth is Junior Ligo. They're all driving the McLaren MP412C. Sixth place and our winning Cadillac driver is Anders Dahl. Seventh is Ron DeLong, he was sixth in the MP4s. Then we have a second place Cadillac driver John Hall in eighth. Rasmus Larsen finished third in the Cadillac's ninth overall. A fourth place in the Cadillacs with Dujan Bourgeon is good enough for a top 10 overall. 11th is Edwin Boss in the McLaren, and the Radicals do get a finish. Paul Wilbrink finishing 12th place in the Cadillac. 13th is Gerd Hagedorn, who probably knows the race directors pretty well. He's had a few penalties today. 14th in the Cadillac is Richard Schuterwin. 15th is John Paul Nohe, who'd be very, very disappointed with that because he was running second until late in the race, and then trouble struck, and really do feel a bit bad for him really, all that racing, and late on it told, his pressure told, and little lapse of concentration, he was gone. 16th and our leading Mustang driver was Kevin Parrish. So Kevin Parrish took that class win. Patrick Bieri took second in class, 17th overall. Oscar Silent rounds out that podium with third and 18th overall. Dan Rash in 19th. Randolph Chenoweth for 20th. Antti Fajaya 21st. Florian Oates in 22nd. And 23rd is Jesper Edgebach. And in 24th and taking the MX-5 victory is Jesper Pedersen with Tomas Akala taking 25th and 2nd in class. Ahmed Yaman has taken 3rd in class, 26th overall. 27th is Jarrett Lawson with 28th Nick Teason. 29th Andrew Pinkerton. 13th is Mikael Melis. 31st Jury Widuk. 32nd is Antti Tuominen. 33rd Mike Denizen. 34th Andy Kirchtorter. 35th is Jacob Nielsen. 36th Frederick Follestad. 37th Fabio Gonzalez. 38th is Russell Clayton.
Hang on, Andy beat Fred. Genius, Andy beat Fred. That's quite funny.
39th was
Sorry.
Rup Tequila. 40th Fabian de Jong. 41st Paul Van Mierlo. 42nd is Anthony Rosselli. 43rd Stefan Overgaard. 44th JB Masida. 45th James Wallace. 46th was Daniel Lopez. 47th Emma Spindell. And our last of our 48 winners was Casper Volker Jr. Over to you, Rob. What were your thoughts on that race?
Overall, good race. A few silly moves left, right, and centre. We were actually, each class leader done well. Anderstar was immense in the caddy. Great battle between Laurent Bertel and Stefan Mugilart. You know, Laurent got done on pit strategy by the looks of it. Kevin Parrish class of the field in the Mustangs. Just all in all, great racing, and it didn't seem like an endurance race, which is cool. We do have some drivers standing by.
We do
They're not in the
indeed.
channel yet,
Yano,
so
what
I
did you
can't
think
do
of the
anything.
Yano? What do you think of the race?
Move everyone in, Yano. Let's have everyone. We're gonna have everyone join us very shortly. So we will ask all race with. Why is my talk button's not working very well? Guys, what did you reckon to the race? All three of you, Anders first. What were your thoughts?
Oh, it was very intense, especially the first time I hit traffic, but it was very, very fun.
Excellent. The traffic comes up quickly at this track, doesn't it?
Yeah, very fast.
Kevin, what was your view driving the Mustang? You drove a great race, so what was your overall thoughts?
The first section up until Rupe got that black flag, I mean, it was just hard to keep it concentrated. There was so much going on the track, it's really easy to lose focus.
Cool, and John?
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. I didn't expect to finish in second place, but I only had one off going through the snake and did at least a 360, and that scared the daylights out of me. About 5 minutes left, I accidentally turned off my ignition in an oak tree, so that was exciting.
That's not a good thing to do when you're running so high.
No, I thought I blew
good
my
drive.
motor. I didn't know what happened for about 3 seconds.
So, Team America 1 and 2 in the caddies, showing us how to drive those cars then. Good job, guys. Dan, why don't you take over and speak to Anders?
Okay, and Anders, we lost Frederick Follestad from the race pretty early on. From that point on, was it hard for you to motivate yourself? Now you didn't really have any competition as such.
No, not at all. There was enough to do all the time. I think I had 2 contacts with the Mustang both times, and one of them I got a drive-through, but luckily I was pretty far ahead.
Thank you very much, Anders, and congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, great drive. Who else have we got? Oh, we've got Randolph in here. Randolph, what were your thoughts of the race?
It was great. Hello, okay. It was fantastic. Faster cars were great, slower cars were great. Managed
So
to,
it was all good.
yeah, pretty much. I managed to drive my way to a top 5 from 10th, so I'm pretty happy about that. But came out of the pit 6th, I think, behind Anthony. Fun coming out of the last corner. Managed and got me by and got me a pretty big gap with about 10 seconds. I just choose.
Cool. Yeah, it was enjoyable for us to commentate on. There was a lot going on everywhere. So, I mean, Paul Ilbrink, you fought your way back after a dodgy off track. You seemed to run out of talent going to Oak Tree. But a good fight back to pull some positions back, which is very credible. He's not even here.
Who, me?
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I just woke up. Nah, it was pretty much over. Race over, and it was way too far down. And I just made up one position because someone else ran out of talent as well. But yeah, long race, boring end, so not that happy.
Oh well, we don't seem to have much luck when I commentate. I think I might retire gracefully. But let's move on to Dan Rash. Some fantastic driving in the Mustang. What were your thoughts on the race?
Okay driving, maybe. I had a really big spin in the middle field stint. That cost me about 16 seconds. That was regrettable. But the upside was that I got to have some really good racing with Patrick, and especially especially with Oscar, once at the final fuel stint, once we all came together as we exited the pits. That was a lot of fun. But I guess crew chiefing I didn't do as well. I broke my fuel calculations and pushed it a little bit too close to the limit by trying to pit early to get a fresh set of tires after the spin, and that I paid the price. I ran out of fuel on the white flag, and so I coasted into the pits and took a gallon and got back out there.
You're not the only one. There was a few people struggling with fuel strategy. Jesper Pedersen, what a drive in the MX-5. The little car with the big heart, and your car had crazy corner speed compared with the Mustangs. What was your views on the race?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Luckily, in the first stop, second place overshot his pit box, and I was just alone in the front, and I could just manage tires and fuel and try to get home. At the end, I really struggled with fuel. I was driving 7 laps, 12 seconds off pace, just to get to the end. But to be safe, I just went in on the last lap and took some fuel to be safe.
How was it driving the MX-5 with all these cars and the other drivers buzzing around you? Like, I mean, it only took 5 laps for you to get lapped by the McLarens. How did you find the faster cars deal with you and the slower cars?
Yeah, there was a lot variation of how people try to get past you, but in the MX-5 you look more back than in front of yourself. It was a little bit tough because some places you really have to be awake, because some people are just putting their nose in and then they're falling back and putting their nose in, and then you have to take the decision. Should I turn in or should I fall back? So it's a little bit difficult, but managing the traffic is a big part of the game.
Yeah, you did it really well though. You didn't seem to get involved in anything, so the eyes in the back of your head worked really well. Congratulations, great drive and good job on the win. Rasmus Larsen, how did you get on? What was your thoughts of the race?
It's a fun race, but long, very long and hard. I had a big spin going downhill towards the oak tree turn, and that was pretty much the only incident I had on the track. And I just saw people leaving, and I got some places. I went from 5th to 3rd place just by people leaving the race, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was really fun for us to commentate on. I must applaud all of the drivers for putting on quite a show and dealing with each other very well. There was a lot of respect for everyone, which I'm sure you all agree on. Dan, over to you.
Yeah, hello. Who's there left to be interviewed then?
I think I covered it, but I think so. I don't think I missed anyone. Dan Blake not paying attention once more. I'll tell you what. I'll run through the sponsors that make this happen, while Dan curses himself once more. So we'd like to thank Derek Spear Designs, iRacing Denmark, iRacing, and GlacierTV. Thanks to all the drivers for the great racing, and a massive well done to all our winners.
Can I?
And, yes, you can.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to all the drivers for really driving a great race. You should all look forward to watching it on the broadcast. We have a winner of the Kleenex award, and a big congratulations to Kevin Parrish for only having 3 incidents through the entire race. So how do you feel about that, Kevin?
Yeah, I was really focusing on that. I was wondering about it at the end. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. I'm finding out myself. Thank you.
That's massively impressive. In case you're wondering who the interviewer was, that's Egil Sandfeld from Race Control, and one of the main reasons that this Neo event is on, and the amount of work these guys put into it is really good, and we're all thankful for that because it produces excellent racing, and it's an excellent series with many different car combinations. so it's quite hard to manage with all the pre-qualifying. So, massive thank you, Egil.
No problem, guys. If you talk to any of the guys from iRacing, just give them a push that they must really do that driver swap feature soon, so we can start racing with that.
Because that would be fantastic. Anyway, I'll let Dan Blake close it out.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all the drivers and for Neo for providing a great event for us all. So that is it, the Green Hell. Some will say it was hell, but some will say it was heaven. We've got 4 people who've taken victory. Stefan Mujla in the McLarens, Anders Dahl in the Cadillacs, Kevin Parrish in the Mustangs, and Jesper Pedersen in the Mazdas. I'm Dan Blake. Alongside me, we've had Rob Cuss. So thank you, Rob, for your help on the commentary, and also thank you to Jana Matikayan for producing the show and being the director. We couldn't have done it without you, and also we couldn't do it without the racing. So thank you, everybody, and until next time, goodbye.